a circle. We are making a big, big circle. We can use the chessboard and make a nice and big circle. Excellent. We can let the hands go. All right. Rocky, we need to stand. Okay, and I have, who am I have here? King, right? I have King Caspian here. Okay, so you guys know this game. We're going to play the Quick Kings game. And I'm going to come in the middle. And I'm going to choose one child to give the king piece. Let's say Rocky. And if Rocky or any of you will get this chess piece, then you squat down and the two children next to him needs to make a handshake. Yes. 3 times. Right. Okay. And if I'm going to give the chess piece to Rocky, and Rocky will have this turn, that means Rocky will come out and I will take Rocky's place. Okay? Now, let me start, okay? If I play chess all the time, superpower won't be mine. Who is going to shake hands? You're going to shake hands.
It was not.
Let's go, let's swap places. And then now you can choose someone and you can give King Caspian to someone, okay?
Let's see.
If I, all right. And then you shake hands, all right? Shake hands. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Okay.
Let's say the rhyme. Let's say the rhyme.
If I play chess all the time, superpower will be mine. Who is going to shake hands? With your right hand, right? That's it. Excellent. Taisei, you can come out. Barnabas will take your place. And then Taisei, now you can choose someone. All right, who is going to shake hands? Who is going to shake hands? Good job. All right, Taisei, you can take Mia's place. If I play chess all the time, superpower will be mine. Who is going to shake hands? Well done. Okay, Mia, you can take Lizzie's place. And now, Lizzie, you can choose someone, right? If I play chess all the time, superpower will be mine. Excellent. All right. I'm going to take this Caspian from you right now, okay, because we're going to play another game. All right. We can, Rocky, you can take my place here, okay. We can sit down, okay. Let's sit down. And let's play one of your favorite games. Okay. Yeah, guess who? All right, so I'm going to cover Barnabas's eyes. Upside down, silly billy me. All right. Okay, and Kevin, I will ask you to just name a chess piece. And Barnabas, please find that chess piece from the set, okay? And remember, if Barnabas, holds the chess piece that we are looking for, then what we are going to do? We're going to clap, right?
If she doesn't do that, we're gonna say that. If she doesn't.
Yes, and if the chess piece is not the right one, then we're going to say, try again. Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, Kevin, name a chess piece. Bouncing knight. Bouncy knight, jumpy knight. Let's see if you can find one. Try again. Yay! Excellent. Now Mia is going to have one turn, and Rocky, you can name one chess piece, all right? Queen. Mia, please find a queen. A queen chess piece. Yeah, we remember that the queen has a crown on her head, And she is quite a tall piece, right? I guess she wasn't very sure. Give her some time, that's okay. Yay! Well done. Thank you very much. Okay, Taisei, I will ask you, okay, to name a chess piece for Laszlo, okay? Let's go, Laszlo, yes. All right. Taisei, what chess piece shall Laszlo find? King. We are looking for the king. King Caspian in this time, yes.
He's king because it's white.
Yes, that's exactly. Take your time, that's okay. Well done, Laszlo, well done. Okay, children, at this time, I'm going to ask you to stand up. Okay? And using these two rows, okay? Using these two rows, sit down on white squares, all right? So someone can come and sit here, here, okay? Come sit down here. Lizzie, come sit here. Okay, and I'm going to take the chess puppets. Of course, they are very cute. We have all of them right here. And Kevin, come. You can be the first child to do this game. Okay, let's guess who are you. Come and sit here. Okay, and I'm going to put this crown on your head. Okay, and let's sit sideways, okay? A bit sideways, okay? So I'm going to make you this chess piece. Don't tell him who he is, okay? And when you feel like you are ready to ask questions, just ask questions, okay?
Am I big?
Is he big? He is not big, so let's take the two smallest chess pieces. So we know that the pawn and the knight are quite small, so you definitely can't be these two. Okay.
Am I tall?
Is he tall?
Yeah.
He is very, very tall, so we can leave the two tallest chess pieces, or actually the three tallest chess pieces, okay, in the set.
Am I value 9?
Is my value 9? No, so you definitely can't be the queen. So we have these two left.
Do I have a cross on my head? No.
So am I bishop?
Yeah.
Yay, well done. You are. All right. Lizzie, come, let's have a turn. Okay, come and sit next to me. Okay, so you won't be away much from the camera. Okay, come and sit like this. Yeah, on the side, like that. Okay. Okay.
Don't play, Lizzie.
So Lizzie, you got the crown on your head, and I placed a chess piece, all right? So are you ready to ask some questions?
Yes.
Yes, all right. What's your first question?
I'm big?
Is she big?
Yeah.
She is, so we can take the two smallest chess pieces out of this collection, right? Okay. What's your next question?
Is my value 9?
Is my value 9? Yes, so we know that we can take these out, right? Because the rook's value is 5, the bishop's value is 3, and the knight and the king is priceless. So, do you have your guess?
Queen.
Am I the queen?
Yes.
Yes. Well done. Okay, we have the time for one more.
Can I be queen?
Okay, Cornel, let's have a turn. Okay, come sit here. Yeah, here we go. Come to sideways a bit, yeah, so the camera can see you. Okay, and all right, here we go. Are you ready to ask your questions? Yeah, all right. What's your first question?
If I am small.
Am I small?
No. Medium.
You are in the middle. So we can take the tallest and the smallest piece out from this set. Okay? What's your next question?
I have a pointy thing on my head.
Do I have a pointy helmet?
No.
No, so you can't be the bishop either. That's okay.
If I have a horse face.
Can I jump over other pieces?
No.
No, so we can take the knight out as well. Okay.
If my number is 9.
Is my value 5?
Yeah.
Yes. So what's your final guess?
Really rich.
Am I sturdy rook? Yeah. Thank you very much, children.
They're already gone.
Yes, they're all ready. Thank you very much, children. We can stand up. All right. And we can go and leave the room. Okay? Stay just here for a little bit. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you.
You are super. High five. High five.
Yeah?
High five.
Come.
Good job. Wait, I need my questions.
All right. Come.
Yeah, wasn't this... Can we start? Wasn't this fantastic, Ranji?
It was great. I was looking outside from the screen and they were doing really, really well. So
Yes,
super. Yeah.
yes, I'm so proud of them. I'm so happy that we can talk a little bit about our educational chess program that we are doing at Happy Kids International Kindergarten. And I have Ranji with me, who is also the class teacher of the Cheeky Monkeys and our assistant school director. I have some questions for you. So tell me a little bit about how we have started our educational chess program at Happy Kids International Kindergarten and Nursery.
The chess program started in 2013 as an extracurricular activity once a week for the 5-6-year-olds by a professional chess teacher. We started the Chess Palace training for our teachers, and the program became a staple in our curriculum at Happy Kids. Now we have a certified chess teacher who is also an early years certified qualified teacher.
Right. Ildiko?
Yeah, Ildiko, who is here. We have an established program for the 4 to 5-year-olds, the reception age group. As a part of their curriculum, they have their lessons once a week, and the 5 and 6-year-old children, they have their lessons twice a week. What is important is all children participate in the program, and for children who have shown special interests in chess also have an opportunity to further their skills via chess club that we have once a week.
Great. We saw a little snippet of the Chess Palace program with our children,
Yes.
but can you tell me a little bit more? Why is it such a unique program?
The Chess Palace program is catered primarily to kindergarten-age children in a way that combines different areas of development into the various activities and lessons in the chess program, like we saw here today in the games that they were playing. The children not only learn about chess, but they can also widen their skill in other areas of development, such as their motoric skills, social skills, English language skills, and also their thinking skills. This means that the children learn chess in a fun, interactive way that is both educational and also cross-curricular. We're not aiming for the children to be chess champions, but since all children at Happy Kids participate in chess as part of the curriculum, it is important that we make it a fun experience for them.
So, tell me a bit, why is it such an exceptional educational tool?
The chess program is useful for the children born into the 21st century, as it teaches quick decision-making skills and logical skills as well, which is very much needed in the world we live in. Playing chess is not a goal, but a tool to develop the children for this world.
And tell me a bit more, and with example, how the program is integrated with the different curriculum areas.
All the activities highlighted in the chess program engage the children's development in all areas. For example, the stories that are featured in the Chess Palace program about the characters is an important tool for comprehension and understanding. So children have to listen attentively to the stories, they have to understand the story in depth, and there's usually questions at the end that not only test the children's comprehensive skills, but they also help the children relate to the stories and the characters through personal experiences. The games and activities played is also useful for for skills such as physical skills and also social interaction skills. The materials provided, as you can see some of the materials here as well, such as this chess rug and also the toys over here. They are great for children at this age group. It allows them to move around, it allows them to feel and touch the toys, it allows them to get familiar with the shape of the chess characters, the chess pieces as well.
And most importantly, make an emotional connection.
Oh, yes.
So why do you think that's important?
Through the Chess Palace journey, the children become very familiar with the Chess Palace characters and their unique personality. In the stories, in the chess program, all the characters have a unique personality. Like for instance, the rook is a strong character, the pawns are like helpful characters, and the children get to personalize with them and get to identify with these characters. Included in the materials are also the chess character beanbags, also headdresses, stickers, posters, and other tools. And all these manipulative, hands-on materials help the children get familiar with and identify with the different chess pieces. Through this, children get emotionally connected to the friendly chess characters, and this gives them the motivation to play more. The children become active participants of the story when playing games on the chess rug, and they also unconsciously learn about chess through these carefully designed tools of the program.
Okay, thank you, Ranji.
Thank you very
That's
much.
lovely.
So thank you very much, Petra Kim and Ranjani Ravi. This has been really very inspiring, and I will say wonderful, really marvelous. And now let me give you a very impressive information. You know, the level of satisfaction among the preschool teachers using chess as an educational tool is over 90%, which is extremely high when it comes to any innovative educational tool. And now, in order to make totally clear that how chess is very important in preschool, I have interviewed Adriana Salazar. She is from Colombia. She has been working with chess in preschool for the last 25 years or so. And what she is doing now, she is applying the most innovative theories on education from Harvard University to chess. As you are going to listen right now, her knowledge on this field is very deep indeed. Let's watch the video.
Hi, Adriana. Thank you very much for joining the Global Chess Festival.
Muchas gracias por invitarme, Leoncho.
Why did you decide to apply the theories of Harvard University to chess, and specifically to children from 3 to 6 years old?
Bueno, hay tres cosas que me han interesado mucho de las teorías de la Universidad de Harvard en cuanto a la parte de educación. La primera son las inteligencias múltiples. Esta teoría del Dr. Howard Gardner es muy importante para el ajedrez porque parte de la base que tenemos distintos tipos de inteligencia y también que tenemos distintas formas de aprender y de entender la realidad. Entonces, lo que he tomado es ese concepto de que cada clase debe ser dada de una manera diferente, de que si debo enseñar un concepto, por ejemplo, un movimiento de una pieza, esto que parece tan simple, es mucho más fructífero si lo estoy enseñando desde las inteligencias múltiples, desde lo musical, lo lingüístico verbal, toda la parte lógica y también toda la parte espacial y todas las inteligencias confluyen en el aula. De esta manera, todos los alumnos tienen un espacio propicio para aprender ajedrez. Por otra parte, otra de las cosas que he tomado de la Universidad de Harvard es la enseñanza para la comprensión. Es una visión de la educación en donde el propósito fundamental es comprender. Esto que parece que casi que debería ser algo lógico, no es lo que siempre ocurre en las aulas. No siempre se comprende lo que se pretende enseñar. Y también lo que pretendemos es que el ajedrez sirva para pensar. Es decir, bajo esta mirada de la educación, todo lo que se enseña debe ser para enseñar a pensar. Y esto está absolutamente conectado con el ajedrez, pero también es posible dar una clase de ajedrez sin enseñar a pensar. Es decir, que la intención tiene que ser fundamental. Por eso tenemos claro hilos conductores, tópicos generativos, metas de comprensión. Y el otro punto que he tomado también de estos investigadores de la Universidad de Harvard es lo que Ron Richard ha hecho, es digamos que toda esa investigación sobre las rutinas de pensamiento. Las rutinas de pensamiento son esas maneras de preguntar para inspirar el pensamiento de nuestros alumnos, para hacer que afloren y también para que se pueda registrar todo ese pensamiento. Esas son las ideas que he vinculado de todos estos conocimientos y de todos estos investigadores de la Universidad de Harvard para el método ajedrez en el aula.
Mm-hmm. And in how many schools or how many children and countries is your chess in the classroom method used today? And how many hours of training do teachers need to start applying it?
Bueno, tenemos más de 100.000 niños jugando ajedrez, pero cuando hablo de 100.000 niños jugando ajedrez, quiere decir que un alumno que empieza en su etapa preescolar, es decir, los 3, 4 años, tiene la posibilidad también de continuar en primaria, en la educación primaria, ¿no? Y estamos también en los países, en España y en Latinoamérica, estamos en Colombia, Ecuador, México, Argentina, Chile, y también estamos en Estados Unidos, en la Florida.
Mm-hmm. In my lecture tours in various countries, I have seen that the level of satisfaction among teachers specialized in this stage, by the way, they are almost always women, is over 90%. They consider that only music is as powerful a tool as chess, and in fact, many of them mix the two of them. Why do you think this great success is due to this?
Bueno, el ajedrez es absolutamente potente en edad preescolar porque podemos enseñar a calcular, a visualizar, sin que todavía nuestros alumnos hayan conocido los números, las operaciones básicas matemáticas, y es un momento propicio para formar una estructura mental óptima. Por eso es tan potente. Es potente también porque podemos no solamente desarrollar las habilidades mentales, desarrollar el pensamiento de los niños, sino que tenemos un espacio fundamental para desarrollar las habilidades sociales y toda esta parte también de la inteligencia emocional. Digamos que estamos confluyendo en un juego todo lo que realmente se pretende en un currículo escolar y sobre todo también de la parte de educación infantil. Es potente siempre y cuando la intencionalidad del maestro lo pretenda. Es decir, la música también es potente, las matemáticas, la literatura, todo llega a ser muy potente siempre y cuando la intención del educador sea desarrollar ese pensamiento de los niños y esas habilidades sociales que también estamos pretendiendo tener.
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting indeed, but it will be even more interesting if you can describe a working session with pupils of from 3 to 6 years old in one of your schools.
Bien, parte del éxito es que ninguna clase es igual a otra, ninguna. Es decir, partimos de la base de que el asombro es una de las condiciones necesarias para el aprendizaje. Ningún alumno nuestro llega al aula de clase sabiendo cómo va a ser la clase, porque un día todo se hace en el tablero gigante de ajedrez, es la parte inicial del trabajo con el cuerpo, pero también hay música, hay cuentos, hay problemas para solucionar, hay juegos con sus compañeros, hay juegos con el maestro, con la maestra. Otro día puede existir también la posibilidad de hacer cuestiones digitales, o sea, nunca hay una forma única de hacerlo. Nunca estoy haciendo solamente trabajo con el tablero gigante o solamente voy a hacer los problemas que aparecen en los libros que he escrito. No, el método siempre invita a que usemos distintos recursos y por eso es que está basado en las inteligencias múltiples. Pero en general, cuando hacemos una planificación de las clases, hay una motivación, hay una forma de empezar la clase. Hay dos actividades que fundamentalmente están conectadas con lo que vamos a enseñar en sí, en la parte técnica del ajedrez. Y también está la otra parte que nos interesa es qué es lo que quiero desarrollar del pensamiento a través de mi clase y cuál es la habilidad social que quiero desarrollar. Eso sí es en la planificación de las clases, eso es lo que está siempre contextualizado. Y por otra parte está también cómo voy a hacer una valoración del aprendizaje. Es decir, la valoración, lo que podría alguien entender como una evaluación, es una valoración continua dentro de la clase. Es una forma de preguntar para saber si los niños han comprendido. Incluyo también las rutinas de pensamiento y hago también un registro para hacer visible el pensamiento de los alumnos. Y desde luego hay una forma de cerrar y de concluir la clase. Pero este esquema nunca se repite bajo la misma forma en la siguiente clase. O sea que hay una riqueza de recursos pedagógicos.
Mm-hmm. And finally, will introducing chess massively in preschool education help a lot to reduce the huge gender gap in chess?
Claro, claro que sí. De hecho, cuando enseñamos ajedrez en en la etapa inicial de la educación, las diferencias son mínimas, desde luego, porque el aprendizaje es muy natural para las niñas y para los niños. Aquí lo más importante que me parece es dar esa confianza total al pensamiento de nuestras alumnas. Yo jamás hago una diferencia. Nunca, ni siquiera como jugadora me he planteado que tengo que ser distinta o mejor o peor que un colega, pues un hombre. Jamás jamás, porque tengo la total convicción de la fuerza que tengo como mujer. Y eso es lo mismo que impregnamos en nuestras alumnas. Ni siquiera ponemos en consideración, ni nunca una de nuestras maestras se le ocurre pensar que tiene unas diferencias que la hace menos capaz. Al contrario, siempre es un respeto por el pensamiento de las niñas y un respeto profundo también por el pensamiento de los niños. Digamos que el problema en la educación es cómo trabajamos juntos, cómo nos ayudamos, cómo hacemos ese trabajo en equipo, pero nunca quién va a ser mejor o peor, ¿no? Es diferente, es lo que necesitamos en el mundo, creo yo.
Adriana, I think your statements are extremely interesting. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Muchas gracias a ti.
I think my last question to Adriana about how preschool chess can help us to reduce the gender problem in chess is especially important. We will come back to that point later, but now we are going to move to another very important subject, mathematics. How to use chess to teach mathematics. For instance, a large part of geometry, arithmetics, or algebra can be taught through chess in a way that is very enjoyable for the students and efficient for the teachers. Our next speaker today is Rita Atkins, one of the world's leading specialists in chess and mathematics in the classroom. Her talk today is about two skills which are very connected to mathematics: solving problem skills and logical thinking. Rita, please be very welcome and go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Leandro. So I would like to talk to you about how to teach problem-solving skills through chess with an online tool called Logic Board. When we are teaching through chess, we are after enhancing 4 essential skills. These are critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. So how can we do that? The best approach is game-based education. When we play games, we are doing our best. We are using our best skills because we want to win. There is also a lot of peer-to-peer learning taking place. Children teach each other while playing. And there is intrinsic motivation because we all love to play. So teachers can just sit back and relax and let children take care of their own learning. So what can we learn? We can learn chess, we can play chess, we can play chess variants, chess mini-games. We can also play other strategy games on the chessboard, and we can supplement these with exercises, investigations on the 8x8 board or the chessboard, and on smaller boards as well. So what tools do we need in the classroom to support game-based education? We simply need a physical chessboard, maybe one for each pair of children. Chess pieces, of course, are helpful, and we often use colored and numbered counters to supplement these. And in this age, online tools help, and I'd like to introduce you to one of these, the interactive shareable chessboard Logic Board. Just a few words about the history of Logic Board. It was initially developed to create colorful board diagrams for an Erasmus project called Chess and Mathematics in Primary Schools. It's interactive because many people can join the same board and they can play and cooperate, analyze games and positions together on the same board. This interactive feature was added during COVID when Chess Plus courses, these are online training courses run by a UK consultancy for teachers and chess coaches, they had to go online. We also use this interactive feature in another Erasmus project called 8x8, where we created a teacher's manual with 21 strategy games. Of course, these strategy games are also playable on Logic Board. So it's great for playing, collaborative problem solving, both online and in classroom settings. And now I'm going to show you a mini game a strategy game, a couple of exercises, and an investigation that you can try out on logic board. So let's start with the mini game. I chose My Kingdom for a Horse, which is a mini game meant for younger children. There are 4 players in this game, 3 kings and a knight. The 3 kings cooperate to capture the knight. They move in turn before the knight moves. The knight seeks to escape and wins the game if survives a set number of moves, usually about 8. The kings move in turn before the knight moves. We can discuss with the students whether we want the kings to be placed as in chess, like not adjacent to each other, or we allow them to be next to each other. The kings cannot capture each other and they are not allowed to stay in check. So in the first diagram, you see the starting position of the My Kingdom for a Horse game, and in the second diagram, the knight is already caught. Now for a strategy game, Breakthrough. Breakthrough is a pawn-like game. It was invented in 2000 by Dan Troika from the USA, originally meant for the 7x7 board, and we adjusted it to the 8x8 board. Each piece can move forward, straight, or diagonally, just one single square. Captures are also made diagonally, and they are not obligatory. The winner is the person who reaches the opposite side with the first piece. So on the left diagram, you see a starting position, and on the right diagram, you see a problem position. Here, white to move and win. So the winning move is a5. If you play a5 with white, black has 2 options. Black can either take on b5 or on a5. If he takes on b5, then we take on b6, and then we play to a7 or c7, and then we march in the next move. Similarly, if black takes on a5, then we play b6, and then in the same fashion, we go on to a7, c7, and win the game. A couple of exercises for you. This is the grazing knight. The knight would like to graze on green pasture without returning to the same square twice. He's very hungry, wants to eat grass in every square. So how should he proceed? The solution is depicted on the right-hand side. There are many ways to do it. This is a particularly easy exercise. Even younger children can do it, but you can make it a lot more difficult. For example, like this. This is not so simple. The exact same rules. The knight has to jump into every square only once. If you also want to enhance children's creativity, then you make them into problem solvers themselves. You will also make them create these exercises themselves, and they will have to make sure that there is, of course, at least a single solution for each of their problems. You can use logic board to teach languages too. Here, 2 bishops cooperate and try and find some fruit in their garden. And the fruits they find are apple, pear, fig, and plum, of course, strictly in a diagonal fashion as the bishop moves. Or you can have rooks. Here, the rooks were looking to find little animals, and they found squirrel, bird, mole, and lizard. Another example for the knight. You'd like to learn a lesson about the knight here by jumping through every letter once on the board. And the message is a knight on the rim is dim. This exercise enhances critical thinking and communication skills as well. And last but not least, an investigation, Star Battle. This was created by Hans Enderbach in 2003. And this was also featured in the popular New York Times puzzles page. I like investigations because in investigations you can teach many problem-solving strategies to children. So quickly the rules. You've got 8 regions on the chessboard. The task is to play 8 kings on this chessboard so that there is a single king in each region, in each column, and in each row. And kings, just like in chess, are not allowed to be adjacent to one another. So let's try and enhance our critical thinking and creativity. A problem-solving strategy, find a good starting point. Here, a good starting point is go for smaller regions. So we're trying to place a king into one of the small regions. I chose G1 and G2. If we put the king on G2, then in the neighboring regions, the other king can only go to E2, but that's not possible because then you would have two kings on the same line. Hence, the first king must go to G1. Visualization, which is another important problem-solving strategy. So let's put a red cross everywhere where the king can't go. And now we try to find the second placement for the second king. Can't go to F3 because then on the yellow region above, there would be no free place for the king. So it has to go on E2. So I would go up to this point on a demonstration board with the children, and then I would let them maybe work in pairs or in small groups and completely exercise. And of course, you can repeat the problem for different board regions. You can let students design their own regions, making sure that there is definitely at least a single solution. You can make it easier for younger children if you give them a few king's placements before asking them to complete the exercise. You can also gamify this. The players can take turns to put a king on the board alternately, and whoever places the last king is the winner. And star battle can be played with other pieces, knights, bishops, and rooks. So what I've done is I created a logic board worksheet for you with all these exercises and games. So please take a look at that and use it in your own practice. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Rita. What I can tell you about this is when math teachers are listening to this kind of lecture, they immediately realize that chess can be a very good professional tool for them. And that's why chess is working so well as a transversal and interdisciplinary method. By the way, let me tell you what happens when I meet some ministers of education or high officials in different countries, and then after showing them some scientific studies or some international long experiences, they interrupt. This happened to me several times. They interrupt my explanation and they ask what I call the $1 million question, which is, okay, I am convinced, but now tell me what I'm going to take out from the curriculum to put chess instead. And my answer is nothing. And that answer makes them very happy, believe me. So that's why, as I said, transversal and interdisciplinary method is working very well in different countries or territories, like Hungary or Uruguay or some provinces of Argentina or Spain as well. By the way, let me tell you a little bit about my country, Spain. I think this is a nice story. In 2015, February 11, a miracle happened in our parliament. You know, all political parties, with no exception, agreed on something. In Spain, this is a miracle. I was very tempted to call the Vatican that afternoon, you know. But since then, 10 out of our 17 regions have introduced already chess somehow in the curriculum. And one of these regions is Catalonia, where they have started already before the parliament decisions, about 10 years ago. You know something also important? The level of satisfaction among primary school teachers there is over 80%, which is very high, and they also have 2 scientific studies measuring the very good results of that project. That's why I have interviewed Marta Amigon, who is one of the leading persons in that project, and I can assure you that what she is explaining is really very interesting. Let's watch the video, please.
Hi, Marta. Thank you very much for joining us from your classroom, and welcome to this educational chess summit at the Global Chess Festival.
Hello, thank you. Thank you very much to invite us to explain our project in the Global Chess Festival. It's a pleasure for us.
In 2010, 2 years before the European Parliament recommended the introduction of chess as an educational tool in schools, the government of Catalonia declared chess to be an activity of public utility. And the educational chess program that you have been coordinating since 2012 has been highlighted by FIDE as a model of good practice. Then, what is your assessment of this 10 years experience?
Yes, our assessment of these 10 years is very positive, really. We have 5 institutions involved in the project. The Educational Department of the Government of Catalonia, Catalan Chess Federation, and 3 universities, Lleida, Girona, and Rovira i Virgili. Although we still have a long way to go, we have 400 educational centers of primary and secondary school in our project that are using chess as an educational tool into the school hours, in lective time. Then, thanks to the program, a lot of people have been able to learn about chess as an educational tool. And in addition, the training have been highly valued by the teachers. The satisfaction rate is very high, above 80% of satisfaction, higher than in other projects of the department. And so we are really very happy.
Mm-hmm. Besides this very high level of satisfaction among the school teachers, the University of Girona has carried out 2 scientific studies to measure the results. What is the summary of their conclusions?
In fact, in the University of Girona, they have an observatory, and they made 3 studies, 2 by students and 1 by teachers. In the case of the students' studies, it has been seen that children who was playing chess or doing chess as an educational tool in lective time had better results in some mathematical aspects and in language too. And as for the teachers, the satisfaction index of valoration was very high, and they showed that chess can help students in values, in habits of order. For example, the teachers see that there is a transfer of learning from chess to other aspects or other areas of daily life. And it's very important too.
Mm-hmm. And can you give us some concrete examples of the transversal and interdisciplinary approach in different subjects?
Yes, of course. Chess teaches us many values, such as respect. When we shake hands, for example, at the beginning and at the final of the game, we are learning to respect the other, to congratulate the other. It's very important, the patience. For example, in life, it's important to know how to wait and observe before to acting, for example. Then chess gives us all these things. They also help us a lot of, can help us in special orientation. And from a very young age, the students work with the coordinates on the board, with psychomotricity and playing games. The order of the rows, the columns, these are mathematical concepts. And then, for example, more things, knowing how to do a plan and adapt to new situations without collapsing is very important in our daily life. And through chess, like a game, in a fun way, we can work on all these things, for example.
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting indeed. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the school teachers. How do you train them to use chess in this way? How many hours of workshop time do they need to start with? And are there other refresher or improvement workshops afterwards, the following years?
Yes, during these years, we organize a lot of courses, training to train teachers. We have taught 2,082 courses on the use of chess as an educational tool. 2,000 teachers have been trained, but we have different course modalities. We have 4 modalities. In many of them, have taken more than one course. These teachers did more than one modality. In total, we have issued a little over 3,300 certificates. And these course modalities are initiation, deepening, consolidation, and we have other group that is called More Chess. In this group, teachers are working, organizing meetings between schools, or making new materials, for example, or refreshing some concepts. And each course is 20 hours, 10 hours face-to-face, and 10 hours online. But during the pandemic, we have done courses 100% online because it wasn't not possible to do face-to-face. Then the Department of Education offers them free for the teachers. And in these courses, we combined the theoretical part with the practice. It's very important that teachers can practice all that we are explaining, to experiment all these things. And it's very important to motivate the teachers and break the clichés about chess, because chess is fun and chess is a very interesting educational tool. And in this formation, teachers can see it and can feel all these things.
Mm-hmm. And finally, let's suppose that among our listeners today, there are some who are thinking of starting a similar project with the transversal interdisciplinary method. What advice will you give them? What have you learned during these 10 years?
I would advise them to try to find institutions that will support them. It's very important. And to start the project with a pilot test with some schools. It's important to do a lot of publicity and explain to teachers that is not only play chess, is something more, is chess can help the pupils with values, mathematics, planning, concentration, it's very important to explain it good. And during these 10 years, I have learned a lot because the teachers are very, very creative, and many ideas emerged during the training. Then we all, the trainers and the teachers, are learning during the sessions, and it's very, very rewarding.
Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot, Marta, for helping us so much to explain what the transversal and interdisciplinary method is and how important it is. Thank you very much again.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have visited personally some of the Catalonian schools, and I can tell you that this project is very successful there indeed. Now, we have 2 more presentations related to how to use chess in a transversal and interdisciplinary way. The next one is about chess and foreign languages, which is a way of fulfilling 2 pedagogical objectives with only 1 shot, because many foreign languages teachers are asking for more conversation and less grammar. And in order to talk about that, we have the ideal person. Philippe Vukojevic is from Belgium. He's a lecturer at the University of Applied Science, but even more important, in my opinion, he's combining 2 passions, foreign languages and chess. Philippe, please go ahead. Be very welcome.
Thank you. So, I want to break a lance for using chess as a tool for pedagogical tool for foreign language acquisition. If you ask people, what do you need to study a language, to acquire a language, you will probably have 2 answers. You need knowledge. You need knowledge of vocabulary, you need knowledge of grammar rules, you need everything that can go to the next step, and that is skills, productive skills, receptive skills. But I hear a lot of teachers, language teachers, complaining. They are frustrated because students don't want to study vocabulary, because they don't understand grammar rules, and because language acquisition is a time-consuming activity. They don't have enough time to explain everything and to have enough time to practice languages. It is quite bizarre that what your mother tongue is concerned, you don't have those complaints. Hungarian is a very, very difficult language. And I never heard one Hungarian child complaining about the difficulties of his language. Same is true for Japanese kids. How come? Well, we have to imitate the conditions to facilitate language acquisition, be it mother tongue or foreign language. The first one is motivation. As a baby, you are motivated to learn this language. There are 2 kinds of motivation. There is an emotional motivation. You are in a very secure environment with your parents, and therefore you want to be part of it. It's a lovely atmosphere, and you, as a child, you believe that you have to produce sounds to be part of this lovely environment. There is also a rational motivation. If you have bad luck and your father has an olfactory system problem, he won't smell when you do poo-poo. And then he will walk with you minutes and minutes, maybe just until your poo-poo is dropping out of your diaper, before understanding what the problem is, why you are crying. So when you use the word poo-poo, suddenly your father will understand. So there is a rational motivation to learn your mother tongue. A second condition to have modern language acquisition is interaction. As a child, it's quite clear. You hear your language hours and hours. Let's say 14, 15 hours a day. So this interaction is very important in your language acquisition. And of course, if you're motivated, you don't bother. If something is funny, you spend hours and hours to do it. A third condition is that the interaction is always adapted to the level of the coachee, of the baby, and so on. You won't show Peppa Pig, for example, to 10-year-olds in class, because that's not motivational for the kids. But you will show Peppa Pig to 3-year-olds. It's something they'll want to see. And if they can, they would press the repeat button to see it over and over again, always seeing the same Peppa Pig. And of course, the interaction with Peppa Pig is very simple. A child will very fast, quickly understand what it means when the mama of Peppa Pig says, "Don't jump in muddy puddles," because he will have some visuals. The same is true for elderly people wanting to learn another language. You have to be motivated. You have to be motivated, and that can be an emotional motivation. I myself studied German because I fell in love with an Austrian girl. You can always consider stepping into your hobby to learn a language. So motivation is key. Not only emotional motivation, rational motivation as well. You can learn a language because it can result in a raise, a salary raise. It can be interesting. You can learn a language because you can sell more products on an international market than just in your own village. Your interaction will increase if you go to the country where they speak the language. And so you will learn the language far quicker than you would if you stay at home. And the interaction has to be adapted to your level, of course. If someone comes to my country and asks the way in some words of Dutch, and I say, "Oh, het is gemakkelijk. U neemt de eerste weg naar rechts en dan aan de verkeerslichten gaat u de tweede naar links en dan komt u meteen waar u moet zijn." The person who is not a Dutch-speaking person won't understand. So I will need visuals. And suddenly, Dutch can become a very, very easy language. If I say, "Oh, de eerste straat naar rechts, ja, en aan de verkeerslichten, de tweede naar links," then suddenly you will understand Dutch. Because the language I use is adapted to your level. Okay, what does it mean for chess? I can use a phrase that is quite famous nowadays. Chess speaks for itself. Children like to play. They are really motivated to play. And so you will create that motivational aspect. Rational motivation because they want to know what you are saying when using a foreign language. They want to know the instructions they have to follow to play the game. There is also an emotional motivation that will be important later, at a later age. Because if you teach, for example, chess to French-speaking children, that's what I do, in Dutch, they will associate Dutch with something funny. And so you will create some affinity with a language, which is, of course, important at a later stage. Of course, you will have a lot of interactions between teachers and children, not during the foreign language course, but during another course. And we all know the benefits of chess, but we can add the lingual benefit of it when using a foreign language. The third very important aspect is also respected, because we can use didactics, a lot of visuals, a lot of repetition to go through the chess rules. I know that a lot of teachers who are not foreign language teachers are afraid of using a foreign language because they say, I don't master it, I don't know the grammar rules, I have not enough vocabulary to do so. But that's not a problem, because when you teach geography or history, you do it in your mother tongue, and you will add a lot of interaction for the children. You can do the same with chess, using another language, by repetition, by visual, as I said. And if you are really afraid of using that foreign language that you don't master yourself, you can, for example, use a puppet. And the puppet will speak the foreign language, and you will be the bridge. You will be the bridge between the puppet who speaks the other language, with mistakes, but that's not you. It's the puppet who makes the mistakes, and the children who don't understand the puppet, but will have a lot of affinity for the puppet and the language he speaks. Therefore, I can only break a lance for every teacher, not only the foreign language teachers, but all teachers, to try to teach chess in a foreign language. It has a name, the child has a name, it's content, language integrated learning, or CLIL. So I can only ask and encourage you to do so. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Philip. That has been very inspiring indeed. Thank you. Now, what about chess and physical education? I know that it sounds a bit strange, and actually what I have seen in several countries is that they are giving chess classes in the physical education hour. I mean, instead of alternatively. But now we have several, I know at least 2 or 3, very interesting programs using the chess pieces moves to work in the real physical education field. This is a very good example of the interdisciplinary method. And one of the best, I know, it has been developed recently by the Judit Polgar Foundation. They started just the last semester at the university, the physical education, the Hungarian University of Sports Science. And now what we are going to enjoy and to learn is about physical education in a giant chessboard.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it, move it, move it. All girls all over the world. Original King Julian for the case man. I love how all the girls move their body. And when you move your body, you know move it nice and sweet and sassy. Alright? Woman, you cute and you don't need no makeup. Original cute body makeup on model. You cute and you don't need no makeup. Original cute body makeup on model. Woman, physically fit, physically fit, physically fit. Woman, physically fit, physically fit, physically fit. Woman, nice, sweet, fantastic. Picture for the ocean is a big Titanic. Woman, a nice, sweet, energetic. Picture for the ocean is a big Titanic. Woman, a nice, sweet, fantastic. Picture for the ocean is a big Titanic. Woman, a nice, sweet, fantastic. Picture for the ocean is a big Titanic. Woman, I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it, move it, move it. Woman, you cute, and you don't need no makeup. Original cute body makeup on model. Woman, you cute, and you don't need no makeup. Original cute body makeup on model. Eyeliner, when you face it, make on mud up, nose powder. When you face it, make on mud up, like your eyebrow. When you face it, make on mud up, gun your lipstick. When you face it, make on mud up. Woman, you nice broad face, and you nice hip. Make man flip and bust them lip. Woman, you're nice and you don't get thick. Picture for the ocean, that's a big Titanic. Woman, a nice broad face, and you nice hip. Make man flip and bust them lip. Woman, you're nice and you don't get thick. Picture for the ocean, that's a big Titanic. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I've been married long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Cotton Eye Joe. I've been married long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Cotton Eye Joe.
Thank you very much indeed. This has been really fantastic. Thanks a lot again to the Judit Polgar Foundation. I think we have demonstrated, I hope so, that you can use chess in a transversal and interdisciplinary way in the classroom practically with every subject, including physical education. And now let's move the angle to another very interesting issue: chess and decision making. You know, a manager of a company and a chess player are doing something quite similar. Both of them are taking difficult decisions under pressure and quickly. This is why we have worked a little bit also on that field. And you know, chess is therefore very, very useful in that area, but Grandmaster, the German Grandmaster Stefan Kindermann has gone even farther than that. He has a lot of experience on educational chess, but now he has developed a program to work on the making decision process, but with children. Please, Grandmaster Kindermann, be welcome to this Educational Summit 2022.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Remote. Ah, here it is.
Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot to Judith for this great event and for the invitation. I'm very happy to tell a bit about our concepts and our background. Our Munich Chess Foundation now just recently became 15 years old, so it's quite a big teenager by now. And during the year, we support up to 1,300 children in socially deprived areas. There are also other groups like young refugees and also kids from Ukraine, of course, in Munich, like physically handicapped people or like needy seniors. And I will tell a bit about the special system that we developed, how to get the maximum effect when we support and work with children. We developed a so-called King's Plan for Children, original title Königsplan. This originally we developed for managers and executives. German, not so easy to pronounce, Königsplan, King's Plan. And this is a strategy model over 7 stages that I developed together with economy professor Robert von Weizsäcker and my good friend Diana Dengler. And it's a model for planning and decision taking. And it's generated from the analysis of the structure of the thinking process of the best chess players, of grandmasters. And nowadays, on this topic, we are giving lectures, we are giving workshops for the Bavarian government or for larger companies or for professional conferences. Now then, several years ago, we got the idea to use these strategies to give them for kids in a way that they not only can profit from all the known benefits of chess that you all know very well, but to give them tools to solve very concrete problems in school, if they have the next text math exercise, if they have stress at the schoolyard, just to change the perspective, seeing the world through the eyes of the other one. And this, the King's Plan for kids, for children, is basically divided in 2 phases. In the first phase, of course, like with all good chess didactics, the most important is to make the kids enthusiastic about chess, to make it very lively, very many interactive elements. And well, just to give you some examples of this concretely, for example, the kids, in this case myself, but with one of our trainers, but usually the kids themselves, they become kings or rooks, and you can always, with simple constellations, no more than 4 pieces, otherwise it's chaotic, the kids can show, let's say, how to attack the king, how to give checkmate with king and rook against king, while becoming the pieces themselves. And you show at the same time the position at the demonstration board. And there are many other ways how you can use this. Just to give one other example, if a kid himself or herself cannot solve a problem given at the demonstration board, you don't say, oh, you failed. No, because it's very important to develop self-confidence. So the kid gets the crown and the scepter and can get an advisor from the class, and they can try to solve it together. And if they don't succeed, they can get even another advisor. So this is one practical tool. Another one is what we developed, our chess yoga. This is a way to bring yourself also, especially with the kids, if they're a bit tired or over hyper nervous, to get them into a good personal shape. This corresponds with the first stage of the Königsplan. Begin in best form is the title, because for any kind of challenge, my personal shape is an all-important requisite for having success afterwards. Here you can see it in actions with a bit more kids. And this is a very effective way. It's not only yoga, but you play the chess pieces, and so it's fun, and afterwards you're refreshed and you have more power. And a very important point, even in this first phase, when you try to get kids enthusiastic about chess, to put the rules in a context of sense. So means not just to show the king goes like this, the rook goes like this, but combine this with first little trainings and exercises in thinking. Also here to give one example, that you can use only the kings to pose some interesting problems that even, as we see in our workshops, even for top managers are not so easy to solve. In this position, the task for white is to break through to the black back row with the yellow fields. And here to solve this, you have already to think some moves ahead. Imagine what possibilities you have, which variations, what are the black reactions. So you have to switch perspective and go into the world of the other one. And you have to foresee the best defense for the other one. And even if you find the best move for white, in this case king to a5, after the black defense, if the black king goes to b7 to stop him to break through to the last rank, you have to find the next white move going into opposition to b5 and understand the concept of Zugzwang, because optically it looks exactly the same like other constellations when you cannot win. So already with kings you can really introduce some very interesting elements, and each piece that we introduce in our system is linked already with some thinking exercises and some corresponding practical examples from life or other areas. Okay, then when the kids, so to say, have caught fire, when they start loving the game and having lots of fun and have first experiences of success, now we can really introduce some strategies in a very simple, childful way of our strategic model, Königsplan, King's Plan. So how do we do it? A very important tool that can be recommended and can be used to introduce any topic is our concentration game. This is very simple. In the concentration game, you show chess position according to the level of the kids, of course, that they can understand it. And you give 2 minutes time. Children have to memorize the position. It's also a very good tool if it's a bit noisy in the class, because this is absolutely focusing. The kids are very quiet and concentrated because they know after 2 minutes you put some blanket over the chessboard that you showed before, and in the first step they have to reconstruct the position, and later on, if they advance, also solving problems blindfold. And this is much more than just a memory exercise, because in more complex positions the kids have to understand very quickly what are the important elements, what is really going on here, what do I have to focus on. And of course it's also good training in visualization. Now just to show you a practical example from a simple chess position, how to use this simple routine of thinking. with the idea if the kids do it again and again, and it's also linked with practical examples and some logic games, that they can use it for any challenge they have, as said, as in maths or in real life. Okay, let's just show one simple chess example on this. Given that the kids, of course, know the basic concept of the back row mate before, well, how to start? If you look at this position, because it's important from the very beginning to build up this thinking routine that can be used again and again, and then it will be also very effective in much more complex positions when the solution is not so obvious, like for better chess players, like in this example. Well, how do we proceed? As I said, the first thing is, look, how is my state, how is my shape in the moment? As I said, this is a very important prerequisite, this first step of the Königsplan. And if these kids who are used in the environment, if their problem is occurring, maybe just to run away or to fight, just to breathe deeply, take a quiet look at the given situation and then switch on the brains, we achieved already quite a lot. So the next step, so not to develop some wild ideas, but first clear, quiet stock taking of the given position. What is going on here? The first, the simplest, of course, the material, which is obviously equal here, but still important to do it in a systematic way. And then the second one, in this case, later on it gets more complex, of course, the fate of the kings. In what shape are the kings? Are they afraid? Are they relaxed? As my colleague Diana Dengler used to say, can the king sit back, take a cocktail, or is he afraid? Is he nervous? Well, and then, after we succeeded in doing this meticulous stock taking, basically, about the position, what's going on here, how is the starting point? Now, stage 3 and 4 in the Königsplan, in this case, because it's a simple case, they melt into each other, is to look in the traditional forward thinking, as we call it, looking what are the variations, what are the power moves, and just give them a bit of thinking. And so at first we see there, obviously, if you know the rules and a bit deeper into chess, of course, only when the kids know a bit already about chess, as I said, it's the second phase, that we have two basic power moves. The queen can take the rook, or my rook can go down to the last rank to attack the black king. But at the first sight, both moves don't look too intelligent, because if I go down with my rook to attack the black king, the queen will take it. And on the other hand, if I take the rook, the black queen will take my important queen and I will lose a lot of material. So at first sight we are stuck. But now we can use the fifth and sixth step of the Königsplan. The sixth being the vision. What is my vision? What is my dream? And of course, if we analyze the situation of the kings, my dream would be a beautiful back row mate. And now comes the sixth step of the Königsplan, if we go back, namely the question, always starting from the goal, the vision. And the question being, what has to happen before I reach my goal? And here obviously, what is my problem? The black queen has to disappear before I can reach my final goal, the back row mate. And the next question, because here's the point, going step by step from the future vision back to the present, the question being, the queen is the problem. So before I succeed, the queen has to leave this defensive square. But the queen won't do it for free. So what must happen to tempt the queen, to give a strong incentive for the queen to leave the last row? And then we come back, we combine the forward and the backward thinking, because in the forward thinking, one of the first variations was the idea to take the black rook, and we saw then the black queen can take back. But if we combine this with the idea, if the black queen has left, then we can fulfill our dream, our vision. And then obviously the kids very quickly find the solution, and in later stages they even can do it in a blindfold way, and then it's even more effective. And so you can slowly develop the mental muscles, the power of visualization, the power of concentration. And if you link this with some logic games, with example from practical life, some math text exercises where you always use the same thinking routine, which also gets a bit complex later on, of course, according to our Kingsplan, Königsplan, then we believe that kids can hugely profit of this. But above all kinds of methods and above all kinds of mental and thinking strategies, the most important, what we believe and what we give to the trainers who work for us when we educate and prepare them, is to show the kids that we believe in them and to give them faith, showing we believe in them, and in this way giving them faith in themselves and helping them to have a really good start into life and to overcome all forthcoming obstacles. And I think this is really the most important gift that we can give to these children who are having hard times in life in many cases. And if we succeed in this by chess and by our King's Plan for Kids or by all the other beautiful ways and methods presented here, then we really achieved a lot. Thank you for your attention.
Congratulations, Stefan. This has been really very innovative and very interesting indeed. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, the concept of leadership is very related to decision making. And we also have the ideal person to talk about chess and leadership, Ashwin Subramanian. As I said before about Filip Vukojevic, Ashwin is combining two passions. He is a high technology leader in India and a very big chess lover as well. Most likely, you are going to be very surprised about how strong are the connections between chess and leadership. The title of his presentation is Play Chess, Become a Leader. Ashwin, please, welcome to the Educational Chess Summit 2022. Thank you.
I'm super excited and honored to be here. I'm super excited and honored to be here for the 5th time at the Global Chess Festival to talk about how playing chess can help you become a leader. The objective of my presentation is to share learnings from leadership skills that I have developed through playing chess and inspire action. I'll start with a brief introduction to my own chess and career journey. I'll talk about how my philosophy of leadership has evolved during the course of my career, and I'll also share how strong the connection is between chess and leadership visually, and finally close by talking about how playing chess can help you build your leadership skills through 10 personal examples that I will share. In 1990, my father gave me one of my best gifts ever, a personal computer. During the same year, the Kasparov-Karpov World Championship match inspired me to start playing chess competitively. As you can see, these two events shaped the rest of my life and career. I'm a software engineering business leader in the high-tech industry. I've been in love with chess and technology for over 30 years now, and my best chess accomplishment was winning the 2018 World Amateur Chess Championship in the 1600 to 1800 category as the only unrated player amongst 80 other rated players. As I mentioned earlier, I started playing chess competitively in 1990, but quickly went on to become the number 3 in Mysore in 1992, in my city, Mysore, in 1992. But I also gave up playing chess competitively right after that to focus on my education and career, and landed my first software engineering job in '97. In 2000, I actually got my second job, which is also in my current company, and grew into mid-managerial roles by 2004. But when I started teaching chess to my daughter when she was 3 years old in 2008, I was inspired to resume playing chess competitively. And starting 2010, while I had multiple leadership roles at work, I also resumed playing over-the-board chess in 2017 and went on to win the ACO World Chess Championship in 2018. More recently, I've been able to combine my passion of chess and technology to help a lot of chess players since the pandemic with their technology needs, delve into chess photography, and you'll see a lot of pictures from my chess photography in these slides, and also experimented with biofeedback, about which I gave a talk in 2021. So overall, I have about 25 years of work experience with 20 years in managerial and leadership roles, and chess has always been an integral part of my life since 1990, for over 30 years now. Let's talk about how my philosophy of leadership has evolved during the course of my career. When I started my career, Leadership to me was getting things done through people. And this was the thinking at that point in time, and this quote by Dwight is an excellent reflection of that. Over the past 20 years, my leadership philosophy has evolved significantly, and my current thinking reflects what Vishen says in this particular quote. I believe that everyone is a leader, and they just need to be reminded of this fact and supported through their journey. And great leaders create other great leaders. And this picture from the Westbridge Anand Chess Academy event that happened recently is an excellent example of how a great leader like Vishy Anand can create other great leaders, in this case, in the chess world. If you do a quick search for leadership in chess, you'll get 50 million records instantly. And you'll actually see excellent articles like the ones you see on this particular page. So I decided to put together a list of leadership skills and a list of chess skills. And when I put these lists together and created a word cloud, you'll see a lot of words become bigger, indicating the tremendous overlap between chess and leadership visually. So chess is an excellent platform for you to build your leadership skills. And now I'll share how I was able to hone my leadership skills through chess, through 10 examples. The first one is dealing with losses and emotions associated with it. I'm sure many of you recognize this picture from the 2020 Olympiad, where Gukesh had just lost his game. And this was a very painful loss for him, mainly because this not only cost him his 8 out of 8 streak, but it also cost the match for the Indian team against Uzbekistan and possibly the Olympiad gold. But just a couple of hours later, when I met Gukesh at dinner, it was amazing to see him very, very composed. And I also heard from his coach, Ramesh, that he insisted that he's going to play the next game. So that was a great leadership example. And I also learned that Vishy Anand had spent a couple of hours with Gukesh to help him recover through this particular defeat by sharing his own personal examples of how he faced such situations. Vishy set another great leadership example as well. Personally, I've lost close to 50% of my chess games, so chess has time and again helped me deal with losses and emotions associated with it. And one thing that I focus on and learned the hard way is just to reflect and learn from every experience irrespective of the outcome. One of my most painful life experiences was not getting selected for IITs, which are the most prestigious engineering institutions in India. And this was after 2 years of tremendous effort. But having played chess for a long time, I focused on reflecting on the learnings that I got from these 2 years of preparation. And I realize even today that a lot of learnings that I gathered during those 2 years are applicable even today during my life. So one of the key leadership skills you pick up from chess is reflection to learn and become resilient. The second key leadership skill that chess teaches you is the importance of accumulating small advantages patiently. If you're familiar with cricket, and if you're a cricket fan, I'm sure you'll recognize this picture from 1998, where Brian Lara chased down a seemingly impossible target with a couple of tailenders and stunned Australia to victory. And he did this by inching towards the target step by step, with while also protecting the tailenders along the way. So accumulating small advantages while preventing counterplay. He minimized the exposure of the tailenders on the other side to the very strong Australian batsman. 4 years prior to this, I had a very similar situation, but I didn't have Brian Lara to inspire me. But I was a chess player. So when we had a similar situation where we had to score and chase down a low-scoring target in the cricket game, and all the top batsmen in my team had thrown their wickets away, I told my partners on the other side that we will go step by step towards the target while celebrating every run. So chess has taught me to value consistent progress and celebrate small victories along the way. If you want to accelerate your improvement through chess, training and coaching are very, very important. And if you are a professional chess player, you realize that this is indispensable. I was very lucky to learn the value of training and coaching very early in my life and career. So early in my career, I actually leveraged multiple mentors. I had a mentor who would teach me project management skills. I had another mentor who would teach me leadership skills. I had another peer who would actually coach me through my presentation skills. And I learned so much in the process, and I value mentoring so much that today I actually run a mentoring program in my organization where we find mentors for aspiring leaders. And chess has also taught me to value preparation, because playing competitively requires you to prepare for your game in advance. And I apply this by not only acquiring skills that are important for my future job roles, but also simply being well prepared for the next upcoming meeting. Another important skill chess teaches you is the importance of decision making in a timely manner. As you can see in this picture, Nihal is looking at the clock, and this is something chess players do very, very often. And they almost treat time as another important asset during the game. So in chess, when you make each move, you actually have to make a decision out of many selections that you have ahead of you. And one thing chess constantly reinforces to you is that making a good decision in a timely manner is often much better than making a great decision but with very little time left. One of my mentors took me to meet a senior leader in my company, and this senior leader gave me a list of skills that were important for you to be successful and become a leader at work. And one of the key skills he mentioned was good is good enough. And I learned this very early because, and this was very good because we are often told in our lives that you have to strive for perfection. And we end up realizing one way or the other that perfection is expensive and impractical. So play chess and learn the value of making good enough decisions. Another important skill that chess teaches you is the value of eliminating blunders and reducing mistakes. Because a single blunder or a big mistake can cost you an entire game full of great moves. And in order for you to eliminate blunders and reduce mistakes, you have to think what the opponent has in mind and use the opponent's thought process in your decision making. As a chess photographer, I've had the opportunity to observe a lot of chess players very, very closely. And one thing that I observed during the recent Anish Vidit match was their hands would actually hover over the pieces for a couple of seconds before they pick up the piece, and again for a couple of seconds before they place the piece somewhere. The emphasis on safety was tremendous. And this is something I've learned quite a bit and apply a lot in my work as well, because we deliver mission-critical software and mistakes can be catastrophic. So I always value safety and quality slightly above schedule, and prophylactic thinking also reinforces the importance of anticipating risks and managing them proactively. Another important skill chess teaches you is the ability to deal with wins and emotions associated with it. This picture is from the match between Anish and Vidit again, and it was amazing to see Anish celebrate emphatically after his hard-fought victory. But within a few minutes, backstage, he actually came and announced that he didn't deserve as much prize money as Vidit did because it was such a hard-fought match, and relinquished 40% of his prize money for a fund that was created to help another chess player, the under-14 world champion. And this is another example of how great leaders create other great leaders. And I was amazed to see how grounded Anish was after this win. In my own experience, in the 2017 ACO event, I started with 3 out of 3, got a lot of unwanted attention because I was an unrated player in a rated category, and that definitely got into my head. And then in the next 6 games, I just had 1 victory. So I really learned the hard way the importance of staying grounded and ensuring I was not complacent. Another important skill chess teaches you is dealing with complexity and pressure. Nothing can be more complex than playing chess blindfolded in front of an audience of 1,000. But these 2 players made it look so easy, primarily focusing on playing the position and using a structured thought process. So that became my mantra for the next ACO event in 2018, and it is something that I use very often both on the chessboard and off the chessboard. So valuing process over results is really critical. While results are important, it's very important to make sure you don't overemphasize on results, but really focus on the process that gets you there. And the right systems and habits will definitely help you accomplish the right results. The last 3 positions actually share some very important lessons as well. And one of the key skills was the importance of sacrifices and exchanges. If you see in this position, my opponent played c5, and I could have taken the pawn on c5 and reached an equal rook-pawn ending. But then I decided to sacrifice the exchange and ended up winning the game. If you look at the position on the right, that's exactly what I reached. And this game is a constant reminder of the value of trade-offs. And whenever I have to make a seemingly unequal trade-off at work, I do so fearlessly by reminding myself of this position. And exchanges and draws in chess often remind me of win-win outcomes. The next position is a great example of how pieces with different powers like the pawn, the bishop, the queens, the rooks, everything in this position at the left can help you, win very, very quickly. And positions like this are constant reminders of valuing diversity and teamwork in the workplace. The final position over here basically was a game from an online event that I played. And as soon as my opponent played b4, I played rook b6 instantly and got checkmated in a few moves. This game, I actually had an eye tracker and I realized that I was not looking at the rook on h6, so I really didn't look at the whole board. And this game was a reminder of the importance of having a big picture view and envisioning the future. I'm going to leave you with a couple of situations where I've been able to apply multiple chess skills to shape my leadership approach to resolve situations. The first one is basically a delayed project with unhappy customers. And if you see the chess skills on the right, all of them were applicable with, basically my leadership approach to help my team and the project recover from this situation. The second example is of my daughters, where we had the Global Chess Festival in 2019, where my daughter had her dance ready a couple of months before the song. But being a chess player, as soon as she heard the song, 2 months later, and the song was very catchy and she liked it, she instantly decided that she's going to dance for that song and restarted her choreography. Again, given the context of women in chess, this is a great example of how, when you expose kids to chess at a very young age, they become very decisive and they use a lot of the skills that they learn from chess and apply it for their leadership approach. So in closing, I'd like to share that chess is an excellent platform for everyone to nurture and grow leadership skills and can open doors to new leadership opportunities at work and life. So 3 ideas. Say yes to chess, whether it's playing chess, teaching chess, or learning chess yourself. Say yes to chess and be open to the idea. Make chess in schools all pervasive and experiment with chess programs at work for leadership development. And finally, can growing your leadership skills make you a stronger chess player? I believe yes, but that's a whole another topic for a future discussion. For now, remember the word cloud that I showed you, play chess and become a leader. And I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone on this page for offering very valuable advice and encouragement for my talk. Thank you.
Ashwin, I'm really impressed. I'm going to watch this video later on carefully because it's extremely interesting. Congratulations. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Now, let's go to the great mystery of chess. Why so few women play? Only 1 for every 10 boys, approximately. Well, we can talk about that for hours, but if we have to sum it all up in one word, I will say education. For instance, I strongly recommend you to read about the Polgar's family story, because this is very clarifying about what I'm saying now. But even today, in the 21st century, chess, unfortunately, has a label of masculinity in much of the world. Dolls are for girls, and chess is for boys. That is why, in a previous video today, Adriana Salazar was underlining how important it is to introduce chess massively in preschool, because then, for those girls, chess becomes something normal on a daily basis. Now we are going to watch an excellent video made by an excellent filmmaker, Jenny Svajca.
To be a good chess player, you need to have confidence and faith in yourself that you can win a game or so.
Not being a sore loser and just be smart. A girl that likes to play chess is open to possibilities. She's motivated, has to want to fight.
All players, you may start White's clock.
You can't be one of the squirmy kids. You have to actually focus. Not be scared or afraid of what's gonna happen.
If there's one thing every girl needs to have, it's determination, and if something goes wrong, they don't give up.
I think chess is going to benefit me later in life because you become more aware.
Chess is like life to me. Yeah, this.
I came a long way. First, I was anxious. I didn't really know how to move the pieces or whatever. I think chess is amazing. Like it gives you a second chance.
In my grade, I am the only girl that plays chess. So.
I only know about like 2 or 3 girls, including myself, and about like 50 boys.
A lot of girls are intimidated because they're not playing against the same gender.
More boys play chess than girls because the really good grandmasters were like boys, so they may be like nervous and then they already feel like they lost. It's funny because I usually play boys, but every single time I get really nervous for some reason.
I think girls are very intimidated by the number of boys. I am sometimes.
They're like whispering, oh look, I'm gonna beat her. But then when I beat them, they look totally crushed and they're like, how could I lose? How could I lose to a girl?
It would just show me how he didn't really have much respect for his opponent.
To get girls into chess, we can send a message showing them that girls are equal.
If I'm the only one, I'm like, hey, where did all the girls go?
And now I'm at this huge girls' nationals.
It's a unisex game. It's not only for one gender. You know what I mean?
There's no whispering that you're gonna lose because you're a girl, because we're all girls.
I actually get to play girls that I didn't even know, and I get to make new friends with them.
Other girls at my school definitely look up to me because I play something that's unique or different than what usually girls play.
When I win, it's like, wow, I got this right in the bag.
You're surrounded by, I don't know how many girls are here, but you know that you're not alone. Or you know that there's way more than just you.
Really an excellent film, but how shall we teach chess to girls in order to reduce that big gap in chess between girls and boys? Our next speaker, Jerry Nash, is many things, but we can summarize it saying that he's one of the world's more prominent experts on chess in education. He's FIDE's senior advisor, and he has a huge experience in the US working in the classroom and also teaching the teachers. And his presentation has a very inspiring title. What kind of person do we want our doctors to become? Jerry, please feel very welcome to this Educational Chess Summit.
Thank you very much, Leoncio. And thank you, Judith, and the Polgar Foundation for inviting me to be a part of this wonderful event. As Leoncio mentioned, the theme, of course, this weekend is about women and girls in chess. And so I approached this presentation from a very personal approach. I'm the father of 2 daughters, and so I gave them advice when they were young. Some of the advice I'm pretty sure they ignored, like the part where I said don't date until you're 30 and also clean up your room. That part kind of went out the window. But there were other aspects of advice which I think they did take seriously. One of them was learn how to learn, because the career that you may wind up in may not even exist yet, so you need to learn how to learn. Second was, don't let others define who you are, don't let them make the choices of who you're going to be, because they don't have to live the consequences of those choices. You do. So don't let others define who you are. And finally, I told them, follow your dreams. So what's missing? Well, for many girls, they're missing that voice of encouragement, that voice of affirmation. Often what they hear is, you can't, you shouldn't, this is not for you. Maybe there's no voice at all. Or maybe it's the voice of someone saying, well, we don't have time for you right now, which is another way of saying, you don't really matter. So what we must do is to decide what kind of person we want our daughters to become, and then help them to achieve that. Several aspects of this. First of all, we want our daughters to be persistent. Yes, of course there are going to be obstacles. There are going to be setbacks. There will be failures. But we want them to be resilient and persist in overcoming these obstacles, to persist in solving the problems that arise. Just as on a chessboard, we teach students to be persistent in problem solving, we have to connect this to real life so that they are persistent in achieving their goals. What else? We want them to be empathetic. Just as on a chessboard, we want them to understand what's happening on the board from a different perspective. But there's another aspect of this. It's not just understanding why they made that move. It's understanding that they have a story as well, and we need to empathize because their story is important as well. We want them to be reflective. Part of any successful person is the fact that they know how to think about their thinking. Reflection on how they've thought, how they've made a decision, and then thinking about how do I change that? Because metacognition is the pathway to change. We have to think about how we think. So being a reflective thinker, an adaptive thinker, because the situation will change. And how do we need to adapt to that? So we have to be a reflective, adaptive thinker. What else? We need them to be self-confident. One of the things that we know when students, especially young students, begin to play chess, they develop a self-confidence, a self-esteem, because they are now able to do something that many people cannot. And we need to build on this self-confidence. We need them to be able to overcome fear. The truth is, fear blinds us to the opportunities that are out there. Just as fear on a chessboard can prevent us from finding the right move, fear in life can blind us to the very opportunities that could be the pathway to success. So we need our daughters to be able to overcome fear. And we need them to network. We need them to learn how to collaborate in problem solving. We need them to collaborate in how they work together so that, one, this is a skill that any employer values, but at the same time, it's the skill that they need to learn from others. How did they think? How do they approach this problem? Collaborative learning is important, not just in the classroom, but in life. If we're going to have the kind of program that helps them to achieve these skills, this successful programming has to make these direct connections. Just simply playing chess is not enough. Assuming that because they're playing chess, they'll get all of these skills is not sufficient. We need successful programming will build those direct connections. Successful programming also understands how girls learn and takes advantage of that. Doesn't dismiss it, but celebrates that, helps them to learn in a way that they're most comfortable with. And then successful programming emphasizes behavior versus results. Now this is difficult in a world that values competition, that celebrates first place and a large bank account. We need to celebrate behavior, taking risks, because at the end of the day, if what we have communicated is only the result is important, only the right answer is important, we will miss the opportunity to help them to develop those skills that help them to take risk and overcome fear. Well, if we want girls to get involved in chess and stay involved in chess, we need to have, first of all, the kind of programming that we just talked about. the kind of programming that makes those deliberate applications and makes those connections. We need leadership that's inclusive. We need everyone at the table. We need all the voices involved to help us to determine what kinds of programs and activities that will help girls to stay involved. And finally, we need, and they need, those role models. They need to see people who are already doing the kinds of things that they could be involved in. If they don't see themselves in that infrastructure, they will assume it's not for them. So we need everyone, and they need to see those role models. And I want to talk about several role models. If we had 2 or 3 hours, we couldn't cover all of the people that are making a difference in this world. But I've selected 3 that I know personally. First of all, Diana Dingler, who teaches school in Singapore but also does work in Europe. One of her favorite stories is about a young girl that had significant health issues, and yet she found a way through chess to help her to become a part of the chess club. Not just a part, but a significant part. She made contributions that were valued by the other students. Ansel Lobsher in South Africa not only is a skilled chess player, but she reaches out by training other teachers. One of her favorite proverbs, an African proverb, I'll quote the last part of it, says, "When you educate a woman, you educate the world." And Ansel reaches out in her region by training teachers and making a difference in their lives. And of course, Judit Polgar. When she left competitive chess, she took chess in a different direction. And she became a world leader in chess as an educational tool. And she's having an impact not just here in Budapest, not just in Hungary, but globally. Now, I told you that this was a very personal approach. So I would be remiss if I did not include my wife, Ruth, who's been a classroom teacher for 25 years. She, for me, embodies what every teacher wants to become. Every day, she greets her students in the classroom. As they walk in, she compliments them on a new bow in their hair, or a new haircut, or new shoes. She tells them, once you're my student, you are my student for life. And they know that she cares about them. So she makes an impact not only on those students, but on the teachers around her. And to be honest with you, much of what I know as a teacher and as a trainer of teachers comes from observing her as a model. And I'm proud of who she is and how she makes a difference in the world around her. I'm proud of what my daughters have become. Both of them achieved master's degrees, taught English at a university in Qatar. Rebecca, on the left, is also teaching English now at a university in Saudi Arabia. My other daughter, Sarah, is finding her place as an artist in Spain. I'm proud of who they are and the fact that they are still pursuing their dreams even as they overcome every obstacle that's in their path. Those of us in chess education, we understand that chess has the power to transform lives. We can help this happen by helping our daughters take their proper place in the world to be salt and light and make a difference. But how do we do that? Well, so many girls need these skills, not just girls, but all young people. But our theme this weekend is about how we help girls to stay involved. We help them by helping them to gain the skills that will help them to be successful in and beyond the classroom. When we do that, they will in turn make a difference for the next generation. So we owe it to our world to help them make that difference. We do that by building the kind of programming that makes those connections, helps them to stay involved, and keeps those role models in front of them. Chess and education is one of the keys to helping make a difference in our society. That's why we're involved. The Chess and Education Commission for FIDE is committed to building this kind of programming. And I hope you will join us in this ongoing effort. If you would like, you can reach out to one of the emails that you saw on the screen when we first started. It's my privilege to be one of the leaders in chess and education, and I work with a wonderful group around the world who are just as committed as I am to making a difference in the lives of young women. Thank you for this opportunity. I look forward to hearing from you in the days ahead.
Jerry, this lecture has been really touching for me, so congratulations. And please keep going on. Please keep working to reduce this big gap we have.
We will do that.
Congratulations. Thank you very much indeed. Now let's change the angle again. There is a long list of special people, I mean people with special needs that are using chess in a very successful way. For instance, ADHD, blind people, other disabilities, Down syndrome, drug addicts rehabilitation, prisons, and many more. One of the most interesting ones is autism and Asperger syndrome. Why is that so interesting? Because if you try to communicate in a conventional way with a person with autism, then most likely you are going to fail. That she or he, that person will reject you. But chess allows he or she to express their creativity and their character without talking and without touching anybody. This is really very important for them. And then they can do this with no tension and breaking the ice of communication with other people. Our speaker on that is Anastasia Sorokina. Her curriculum is a very long one, but let's summarize it. Besides being a Women International Master, arbiter, organizer, trainer, former president of the Belarus Chess Federation, she is mainly the leader of several social projects related to chess, and that's mainly why she is with us today. Please, Anastasia, feel very welcome to this Educational Chess Summit. The title of your presentation is Infinite Chess for Kids with ASD. Thank you very much, Anastasia.
Thank you. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad to welcome you all in this wonderful event. My name is Anastasia Sorokina, and I'm a leader of FIDE Social Projects. Today, I want to speak about a very important, challenging, but very meaningful project. The project is Infinite Chess Project for children with autism spectrum disorder. ASD is a complex neurological disorder that begins early in life and affects how a person acts and interacts with others, communicates and learns. Different people with autism can have different symptoms. For this reason, autism is known as a spectrum disorder. And this is why each person with autism has a different set of strengths and challenges. It is hardly possible to fully perceive the whole spectrum of feelings and emotions that kids experience. But I suggest that you watch a video to get an insight into what they're dealing with their everyday life.
6, 7, 8, 9. Take my hand. I'm not naughty. I'm autistic. And I just get too much information.
According to the World Health Organization, it is estimated that worldwide 1 in every 160 children has autism spectrum disorder. The following slides that I want to show you, showing the countries with the lowest autism rates, you can see it here, and countries with the highest autism rates. Of course, we have to understand that not in each country they have a statistic and this data, but the numbers show clearly that every year we have more and more numbers with kids with autism spectrum disorder. So it's very important to remember that none of the kids with autism have the same experience, and that each child suffers from his or her own personal kind of stress. Every new sound, every new place or light could immediately become a stressful situation and influence their behaviors. Teaching an autistic kid can be a challenging process because each child with autism has different and unique needs, and we must accommodate them to help the child to succeed. We can't measure they succeed. The ways in which people with autism learn, think, and problem solve can range from highly skilled to several challenged. I suggest for you another video about a girl who has ASD to demonstrate how she feels about typical things in her life and in our life that we often even don't pay attention in our daily life.
I can't wait for a coffee. Oh, hello, barista.
What do you girls want?
Skim soy latte? Taryn, soy can't be skim.
Hot chocolate, orange juice?
No, Dad, I want a coffee. Hot chocolate? Great.
So I was thinking of going to Sarah's later. Could you give me a ride?
Yeah, sure. Are you cool with taking your sister?
Yeah.
Wait, what? I have my own plan.
Okay, I'll see you tonight, okay?
How can I help?
Behind each successful project, there is a personal story, almost all the time. And our personal story started in Minsk back in 2019, when we started our first project for kids with autism spectrum disorder. It was an important step, but still an experiment. We did our best to gather all information we had for the moment about the disorder, how to set up a classroom for the kids, what kind of methods we can use to teach them to play chess. And I have to admit the first group of kids showed very impressive progress during the chess classes. As a result, our experiment became a very successful project for ASD kids socializing using chess. As for now, FIDE and the International Olympic Committee took into account our positive experience of 2019, turned into a serious international project with meaningful and concrete results. Today, Infinite Chess project is a strong and meaningful tool which has already proved its priceless impact on kids with autism playing chess. Our team created a special program based on our unique experience in 2019, and this program can be actually used for individual kids or for a group of the kids who we try to learn to play chess. With the support of International Olympic Committee, our program was translated to 4 foreign languages: English, French, Russian and Spanish, and you can find it in FIDE website and download on one of those 4 languages. Now I would like you to watch a video from one of our authors of this guide.
Hello from Canada. My name is Alan Mishchenko. I live in Toronto and work at the Canada's largest public school board as a special needs educational assistant for 18 years. I work with kids aged 4 to 21 who have autism and other developmental disabilities. The team of Infinite Chess created and developed a special program which aims to teach kids with ASD to play chess. Our program has detailed recommendations how to accommodate specific and unique needs of students with autism during the learning process. As one of the authors of this program and a professional who on a daily basis work with children with autism, and also based on the feedback from the teachers who already use our program and parents of the students, I firmly believe that children with autism would highly benefit from participating in Infinite Chess. According to World Health Organization, it is estimated that worldwide, 1 in every 100 children has autism. In 2021, these numbers were much lower, 1 in 160. Some of the countries with the lowest autism rates are France, Portugal, Norway, Italy, and the highest South Korea, USA, Canada, and Australia. Unfortunately, the numbers are growing, and we have to do everything we can to help kids with autism to become involved and feel like a part of their community. I strongly believe that the chess will be one of the tools. There are so many benefits of engaging autistic children in chess activities. Chess lessons improve cognitive, communication, and social skills, promote inclusion and quality of life, increase self-esteem and confidence in kids with ASD. Due to studies and research conducted in the area being limited, the guidelines outlining this program should be considered as recommendations and not as an officially recognized methodology until research on Infinite Chess program is conducted. But our team strongly believes that we can make a difference. Thank you for your attention.
The teacher must set particular goals depending on the student's age and functional level. This step is even more important when you're dealing with ASD children. This is why, working with our partners, we organize educational seminars and grounding in our educational program. During the first seminar, we have more than 130 participants from over 50 countries around the world. Followed by this seminar, we organize a second one where we already present our program and we teach and explain how to use this program for potential teachers, tutors, and even parents who want to use chess to the child to learn how to play chess. After 6 months of the running of the program, FIDE Infinite Pilot Project program has helped more than 60 kids with ASD from Turkey, France, Norway, Spain, Africa, and Gibraltar. Deep interest of our partners, not only connected with chess from different countries, proves that researching the disorder and developing special tools for it's very important aspect in our project. Together with the French Chess Federation, we took part in Chess for Mental Health International Conference in Paris. And after this, in July, we held FIDE Madrid Chess Conference. One of the program highlights was a round table with Infinite Chess Project. During this conference, representatives from all continents shared their experience with us. And we carefully consider this because our top goal is always improving ourselves through feedbacks of our participants and partners. We know, based on the multiple feedbacks from parents and tutors, that chess does help kids with ASD, but we still lack necessary scientific research on this topic. Following of the success of our previous seminars, we are ready to organize third educational seminar of Infinite Chess Project, and I want to use this opportunity to invite everyone who is interested about it to join our seminar tomorrow. It will be online, and you can find all information in FIDE website. The pilot project is currently ongoing in 15 countries. In yellow color you can see countries that already participate in, and orange color you can see the countries that will join us after the seminar tomorrow. Of course, I would like to express my deep gratitude for the trust and support from the International Olympic Committee, International Chess Federation, together with the Planning and Development Commission and Social Commission that we are closely work together. As I have mentioned before, currently we are, our first result is just personal feedbacks from parents, coaches, tutors, and this is very important for us, but we really hope that in the coming year will be a new step for Infinite Chess Project in this field, and we are currently in the process of expanding our Erasmus application to receive additional budget for scientific research and developing the project. But at the same time, we are working closely with the Chess Scientific Research Institute in Armenia, and they already launched the first scientific research of the Infinite Chess Project. This research includes questionnaire, interviews, video analysis system, and will scientifically prove, we hope, the degree of program impact of kids with ASD. Of course, it was already demonstrated that teaching chess to children with ASD has a positive impact of their social communication and cognitive skills. One of our authors of our program, Natalia Popova, says that children start to pronounce the words clearly. They are able to formulate their thoughts. The non-verbal children who have problems with learning demonstrate the ability to answer simple questions. The kids who showed some sign of aggression before become less aggressive and have some progress in ability to control their aggressive behaviors. They become more persistent. Their behaviors and overall interaction have surely improved. Oops, sorry. And according to our questionnaires, we know for such that chess stimulates cognitive development, social development, emotional development, and we do hope that soon we can obtain research to make our observations scientifically substantial conclusions. We will do our best to continue and expand the significant beginning. And last but not least, please watch a video about our project.
For joining us for the second FIDE educational seminar of the Infinite Chess Project.
The expert team and the participants of the seminar, I'm very honored actually to welcome you at the second seminar dedicated for our project Infinite Chess, or in other words, the project that is dedicated for using chess for empowerment of kids, particularly kids with autistic spectrum disorder.
implement this very important social initiative around the world. And but I want to say that this project is really special because this project is about kids and it's about health. Thank you very much, and together we can do even more.
Yes, indeed, Anastasia. Together we can do even more, but chess needs more people like you, so sensitive and hard worker. Congratulations and thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Now I'm going to interview a very interesting person for about 10 minutes, Malcolm Payne. He has done so many important things for chess that I could spend all that time just talking about his curriculum. Just currently, he is Vice President of the European Chess Federation, or European Chess Union, better say. He is a chess organizer, an important one. For instance, the very famous London Chess Classic Festival was done by him for many years. And he has a daily chess column for the Daily Telegraph, among other things. So we welcome Malcolm Payne to this Educational Chess Summit 2022. Malcolm, thank you very much for coming. Feel very welcome. Please sit down. So, first of all, I think you should introduce your organization, your charity organization, Chess and Communities, but specifically, besides of that, I have a very concrete question, which is probably very interesting for our listeners. How do you get the money? I mean, how do you convince people, companies, bodies, whoever, about investing on a chess charity organization?
Right, so before we come to the concrete question then, Chess in Schools and Communities is a charity. That's a fundamental point. It's a non-profit, as you say in the USA. It's something that's not out there to make money. It's something that's out there to collect money and spend money to achieve its objectives. How do you get people to give you money? Well, yeah, that's a good question. And I have to say that I spent, I think, 25 years as a chess entrepreneur, running businesses, selling ChessBase, having a chess shop, all that kind of thing. And it was amazing that when I formed this charity, I found people's attitudes to me changed completely. So instead of talking to people about commercial things, suddenly it was more, well, I'm doing this as a charity. And people's attitude to you changes when you're talking to them about a charity. That's the first thing. And you have to gain that common ground with them, that they clearly understand that what you're doing is not something that you're trying to do to profit yourself, but something you're trying to do to help the wider community. And that's a good point to start. The second thing is you need proof of concept. So what I did initially was try and raise a small amount of money, just a small amount of money, and then start teaching chess in schools as a curriculum subject, by the way. That's one of the things that Chess in Schools and Communities does. That's its main activity, teaching chess in the classroom. And I should say that's distinct from what they do in Armenia, which was, I took the Armenian idea of teaching it in the classroom, not necessarily as a chess club.
I will ask you about that later.
But no, sure. But this is the point that I had to start small. So from the point of view of getting money, I found a few head teachers who were prepared to do this. And it only needed, I'd say, about £15,000 originally just to get chess embedded in a few classrooms in London and in Liverpool. And once you have proof of concept, then, and you've got feedback, and you've got anecdotal evidence from teachers and head teachers, oh, I'd love to do this again next year, then you can go to your funders. So the first thing I think is proof of concept. The second thing is, this is for the community, this is not for me. And then the third thing actually is targeting. I mean, you have to look around and you have to try and find people who are interested in chess. And that means getting all the data that you can, finding all the chess players who are in different companies, and just sending out, you know, emails, letters, conversations. It's very much about networking and finding people who'll at least start the conversation. That's really the point. Because, I mean, to give you an example, when I started Chess in Schools and Communities, I managed to get the URL chessinschools.co.uk. I mean, that means that it was a completely green field. There was nobody doing it. So going after the money is really a matter of forming the proposition. Actually, that's really what I would say. You have to form the proposition, and you have to be able to answer very simple questions, such as, how much do you want? It's a very, I mean, I should say, this didn't happen to me when I was in the charity, but it happened to me in business once. I went into a meeting and somebody said, how much money do you want? I didn't know the answer. It felt so stupid. So you have to, how much do you want? Who will it benefit? That's the second question. Thirdly, what will, if you like, the unit cost be? I mean, this was very important for me, was I managed to, by using the charitable status and the charitable structure, to drive the unit cost per child down very effectively, very effectively. So you have to create the proposition, make it very, very good value for money, and then you have to mine all the available data and contacts that you have, and these can be friends, companies, other charitable funds, government, private companies, all sorts of things. I mean, I have this huge database back in the charity office that is just literally a list of it's not a great potential, possibly the most polite word you could think of, but I suppose it's the right answer. Targets. You know, I regard all these people on my list as potential targets, potential people I can ask for money. And so once you've got the value proposition and you've tested it and you've proved that it works, that's when you go out and try and raise the big money.
Now, talking about chess in education specifically, you have done something really very difficult, and I know what I'm talking about. I mean, as we explained before, in Georgia or in Armenia, they have chess in the curriculum, but not as a transversal or interdisciplinary tool, with its own hour in the curriculum program.
Yes.
And you are somehow following that method, I suppose adapting it to the UK, but in the United Kingdom, chess is not that popular.
No.
So this is really difficult to achieve. How you are doing that?
Well, I think one of the things that helped me originally was that for the UK, it was, as you say, completely radical. Like, what? Chess? You know, in a classroom? And I was helped by the fact that it was working in Armenia, and that there was even a documentary, actually, there's a lovely documentary on the BBC called Armenia, the Cleverest Nation on Earth, which was quite nice, that I used. But the thing is that I managed to convince just a few head teachers, and head teachers in Britain regularly gather in forums locally to talk about things. And so once we'd taught for a year in, I think originally it started with 12 schools, then those 12 started talking to all the people in their local areas. Then I started going to local government education departments and presenting. Then it was conferences, and it just spread by word of mouth. But what we had to do was not use the Armenian method. So we created a curriculum, a couple of great people in the chess world, one who's very well known to you, John Foley, who's on the European Chess Union Commission, and another if you like, pioneer of chess in schools, Richard James, they created a curriculum, a 30-week curriculum that has lesson plans, objectives, worksheets, things that you can give to any primary school teacher and say, this is what you do. And in some cases, we had primary school teachers taking this, but most of the time, actually, we were able to send in our own tutors into the schools to do it, and the class teacher was helping. And the other barrier I had to overcome then, of course, was, oh, people will never pay for that. Mm-hmm. People will never pay for that. And this is a fundamental part of the answer to your first question. Mm-hmm. You have to value chess. Chess is worth having. Chess is so worth having, it's worth paying for. And there was absolute shock, I'd say, in the English chess community generally, when actually, after the second year, I started charging for it. Not very much, but in fact, what I did was I pitched it in this way to the head teachers, or we actually have now in Britain business managers, because schools were given autonomy by the Labour government from the early 2000s. So head teachers have their own budgets, and they all have business managers. But you go to the head teacher and you say, it's going to cost you this much, except there's a 50% discount because we're a charity and we're raising funds. So we're giving you everything at half price. So that actually is the last component of how to raise money, it's marketing. And we've never found any resistance from schools to paying the amounts of money that we charge. There's never been a school that said, well, occasionally over the years, but we've been in 1,200 schools. It's not money usually that makes a school stop having chess in the classroom. It's usually because there's a new head teacher who doesn't quite get it. So that's, and you know, last year we took in nearly £400,000 from schools.
Very interesting. Now, I know that you are also working successfully in another very interesting field, which is prisons. Yes, in a very synoptic way. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. Chess in prison is such a positive intervention because it gives prisoners, first of all, something to take away the terrible boredom that they experience in prison. I mean, that is one of the reasons, of course, that contributes to the violence in prison and to depression in prisoners and to general misbehavior in prison is boredom. And let me give you an anecdotal example of how this really came through to me. So the first thing is to explain that in slang, in English slang, the word bird means prison time. So I'm doing bird means I'm in prison. And I was doing a simultaneous in a prison and I was playing against a guy and he looked at me and he said, "Mr. Payne," he said. I said, "Yes, John?" He said, "Mr. Payne." He said, "This chess." I said, "Yes, John?" He said, "It's a bird killer, Mr. Payne. It's a bird killer." And what he meant was, it takes up so much of my time that I forget where I am. And in fact, when I was planning the prisons program, I did go to some psychologists, and one of them said to me, anything that can make them forget where they are for any period of time is a great thing. So not only is it teaching all the good things we know that chess does, the cognitive skills and making them more employable.
Thinking about the consequences of...
Exactly, and just actions have consequences. And that is what we always promote when we're teaching chess. Although when we do chess in prisons, actually we don't always teach it, you know. We let them just come along and play. If they want to learn, they learn. But if they don't, we just let them play.
So time goes faster when we play chess. And finally, I'm not sure if we have a video about your organization. Do we have a video to watch it now?
I hope we do.
Okay.
But that's... No, it looks like we don't. Well, I mean, I can...
Okay, is it possible to find that video in the internet?
Absolutely. I mean, I know one of the things you've been talking about here is chess communicating outwards, because we're always talking to ourselves. So one of the things that the charity's done for the last 2 years is something called Chess Fest, which is a festival of chess. And if you go to chess-fest.com, that's chess-f for Freddie, E, S for sugar, T for Tommy, you'll see the video there. And we take over the whole of Trafalgar Square for a day. and we have tents where you can learn how to play chess because it's so important to popularize it. One tent for children, one tent for adults. We have a live chess display, so we always have a theme. This last year it was Garry Kasparov against Deep Blue because it was 25 years since that happened. And we also have simultaneous displays. We have giant chess. It's an incredible spectacle, and we had 11,000 people came, which I think makes it the biggest chess event in Britain by a very long distance. And that's about getting chess into the community, because people came from all walks of life and all ages and had a fantastic time for the whole day. And it's something that I think can be replicated. So we ran it in Liverpool as well. We had an activity in Hull, and my ambition is to spread it all around the UK.
Well, taking the whole Trafalgar Square for the whole day is a fantastic way of communication. So,
yes.
Malcolm, thanks a lot. It has been a real pleasure.
Thank you too.
And please keep so hyperactive as you are for many years already. Because
you're my role model.
Thank you very much, Malcolm. And now I'm going to surprise you with the next interview. What can be made from tires, yes, I say tires, that have been withdrawn from circulation? Well, for example, chess pieces and chess sets. This is what a Spanish project called Neusus Upcycling is doing. This project comes from a Spanish company in León called RMD, and I'm going to interview Nicolás González. Please welcome Nicolás. He's the commercial director and event manager of Neusus Upcycling Project. Nicolás, welcome, please.
Thank you so much.
Sit down. So, then the first thing I have to, that arises in my mind about your project is you are working together promoting chess and ecology at the same time.
Yes, that's it. We are, as you have told, a recycling company from Spain, and among other materials, we recycling end-of-life tires, and with our project Neusus, we allow to be able to convert a tire in such a urban furniture or chess pieces like everybody knows. So the idea of ecology is in our ADN from 30 years. We are making this. The other part of the educational part of the chess tournaments is a part of the events. In 2021, we start to develop a tournament for children from 6 to 12 years old. That is making giant chess, 3 per 3 square meters, with the idea of all of them be close to the chess. Many of them, they didn't know nothing about, or almost nothing about chess, but they want to feel this sport and feel the touch of the pieces, and this is an amazing game that they have to collaborate between them to take the decisions and make the moves together. Not in at the normal way we have the teams tournaments as we make. So they have to collaborate, and in this part we press to use these chess sets not as a sport, but an educational tool.
And another important point from my point of view is what is the benefit for the society of installing a giant chessboard in a public square or place?
Okay, for the beginning it's beautiful. It's amazing. You have to improve the place. You have an addition value to the decoration of the city. That's the first point. The second point is that everyone can go there to play for free, and mainly families make that due to to the big pieces they are, to the large of the pieces, they have to make teams to play. So it is amazing and very, very fun.
I see. Now, you say that you are including in this project chess in education. So if you do that specifically in a school or in an education center, how that works?
Okay, you, as an expert, as you are, Leoncho, in that point, you know that our idea to use the giant sets is for the educational tool for children, mainly to be a part of closing them to the chess. So we have, as you know perfectly, in Spain, some places somewhere where they don't know exactly how to use it. So they must know how to use this giant chess or even the chess as idea to use in the different subjects they teach. So when we make this tournament, this Little Giants tournament, you know, we make some actions like conferences with experts that you know to explain to the teacher how to use these sets to the children as an educational way. And they have fun also, not only with the chess as a sport, as an educational tool. If not, they come out of the classroom to have fun and enjoy the chess applications.
But if you look at the pictures or videos of those giant chess pieces you are doing, they look very heavy. So do you have a suitable model for small children, for instance?
Okay, they look very heavy, and they are very heavy. Notice that we have, for the moment, two sizes. The mega one, I told you that the king, the height of the king is 1.80 centimeters, so it's very high, and weight 220 kilos each. And the tournament we have using the children from 6 to 12, they can move easily because they have a wheel system that they can move the pieces, pushing them through the board. The following one is the giant one chess that we use in the tournament, the 3x3 square meters. So the weight of the king is around 6 kilos, or more or less, than 60 centimeters. And it's easy to move for children for 6, so they can use it. For children, maybe the smaller one, we have made that one. This is a new that I can present you. This is the backpack size, you know, so it's easy to move. This is the king, it's 30 centimeters and weighs around 1 kilo. So it will be in a board of 1 per 1 square meter.
This is very suitable for a small children.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe in a short time we can make the pocket size. I don't know.
Okay. And then finally, well, you have explained already what you have done, but what are your projects for the near future?
Okay, for instance, we have made some different projects that we are involved in. There are some European projects that we have started, but not concludes for the Erasmus Plus projects, and also the Smart Recycling project. It's an interesting project that we are developing to live and to move into different cities of Europe, of the presence of the circular economy, the care of environment with that recycling chess sets, to show everyone how can we make with this rubbish, you know. But for the moment, our big project is this tournament, this Little Giants tournament. We have started in one city only, in our city, León, with less than 200 children for the first time. This year we have more than 600 children playing in the street with chess, like if you permit the comparison with like football. In places playing chess with so dynamic, and our aim, we are looking to this new year 2023 to open in new provinces and areas in Spain. We are talking now with different local governments to make it bigger, the plan. Maybe the idea is to make a city tournament become a national tournament, and why not something in other cities and other countries in Europe.
We have 20 seconds to underline what I consider a very important idea about your activity. Suppose you install a giant chessboard in a city center, in a square. For every citizen going through every day, they are seeing chess, chess, chess every day.
Yes.
That repetition of the impact, I guess, is very good, very positive for chess and for your company.
Of course, that we hope that.
Thanks a lot, Nico.
You're welcome.
And let's keep in touch, because looks like you are going to keep very active on that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Leon. It's a real pleasure.
All the best.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Now, let's suppose that you know a lot about chess, but almost nothing about how to develop a good project. This is very important indeed. And we also have the right person to talk about that. Jesper Bergmark is from Sweden and is the current chairman of the Education Commission of the European Chess Union, among many other activities. I have been working with him several times for the last years, and believe me, he is very good when it comes to explain how to develop a good project. Please, let's watch the next video.
Hello everyone, my name is Jesper Bergmark Hall, and I will give you a presentation on the theme how to make a successful chess project. Before I start, I just want to say that I'm so sorry that I cannot be with you in Budapest. I simply caught the flu. Still, I hope that my voice is strong enough for this little video. Let's start. So, how to make a successful chess project? First of all, we need to give a definition of a project. And the one I use is that a project is to have a defined time frame to reach a clearly defined goal with defined resources. And of course then the next question is, why should you make use of this concept? Well, I believe that this is an effective working method. You have clear goals and you can design the competencies so you can reach it. It's also a great chance for an organization or a federation to test new ideas and by that develop the organization. Finally, it's also a great chance to receive external money. External money is needed, of course, in chess like in all kinds of activities. And in the society today, there is quite a lot of money for that. Chess has got a great chance. Our popularity has increased the last years. And of course we need to ask ourselves, how do we benefit from that? Not the least when it comes to chess for educational purposes or to make use of chess in the society. This opens up for new possibilities and new money. The problem we have is that the chess family lack knowledge in how to finance, how to applicate and how to run projects. Finally, the working concept of project has become more and more important in the society, so we cannot avoid making this work. We simply need to do it. So, first of all, we have great possibilities. 25 million kids are playing chess in schools every week around the world. Chess can also be played by everyone. This is a real strength when it comes to money for projects. Chess can also easily be played everywhere. Still, we have got a renown as an IQ game and has got high status. We are connected to great values. And not the least, we can be played both as a board game or online, a real strength. We have some strengths, yes, like that the chess family is strong when it comes to arranging chess tournaments, but we also have some problems. For example, this knowledge on all levels, I would say, on how to find money and run projects outside this area of arranging tournaments are quite low. So we need a strategy to learn and spread knowledge, and not the least to work more professionally when it comes to financing, running projects, and not the least evaluate how to move forward with this in line. So how can we do that? The first thing I recommend is that you start to use the outside and in perspective. This means that you take a look at chess from the other person's perspective. Because if you do that, you will understand what makes our game interesting for them. It might not be that we have a perfect game, but we attract a lot of people, everyone can join. They might have other values. So think about that. What is interesting for them? And you can use this both for sponsors, funds, governments, schools, children, parents. Always put yourself in the other person's organization's position. Then, one thing that is important to understand is that in the world today we have two types of organizations. We have the old ones and the new ones. Most of the organizations acting in chess are old ones. That means that we do what we have always done, and then we try to get money for it. But the new type of organizations, they start to ask themselves, okay, where is the money? How should we organize ourselves to receive it? And then they do that and they get money. We need to learn from the new organization. We need to organize ourselves in a way so we can get this money as well. So, what we need to do is to create a strategy for the different sources of money that is out there. And some of them are subsidies from the state. We need to understand, what does the state want to give money to? Normally, it is not chess, but it is what the chess can do for the society, like developing kids, attracting women and men at the same time on equal ground, that we can reach people not speaking the language in the country, and so on and so on. Then how can we make a strategy to receive money from funds, from sponsors, from mecenates, and from investors? For each of these sources of money, we need to have a plan and a strategy. So, what are the key factors for a success when we make this strategy and when we work with trying to run projects? Like I said before, use the outside and in perspective. Then, one key thing, make two lists when it comes to projects. One with the ideas that you want to make, what you want with the project. But then you make a second list where you try to analyze the different sources, that what they give money to, and how you can make a project that is in line with their statutes and what they want. And then you try to combine them. What you should do is also to look for other successful projects that got money from the same source. Try to analyze and compare our game with what they did and how we can make an application that can attract in the same way. Work with professionals. This is something that I think is so important. And to do that, also you need to prepare your organization, like it's written before on my dots here on this slide, because those two are the key. Because first of all, you need to prepare your organization with a good web page so you look good. You need to have maybe you need to code of conduct to show to these people that gives money, and you need to have some good representatives that could sell in what you do. And after that, you need to get in the people that are good enough to write applications and to run projects. Work with professionals. And the key persons for that are the project manager, not the least, that can be the driving engine of a project. You need a good project team. You need to analyze what do you need and to pick the right people for the right job. One important thing is that even though we try to be more professional in what we do, we need to take care of our volunteers, because the chess world is based on all this volunteer work that is done by these burning souls around there. Take care of them. Think how they can feel appreciated and how you can support them. Cooperation. I think this has been a lack of cooperation in the chess world for a long time. People are probably the best trainer in the world, probably the best organizer, but with this attitude, how can we then start to work with this network? It's not possible. We need to start to understand that we can learn from everyone, and that if we are together, we are stronger than if we are alone. So, not the least, share ideas, share applications, show what you have done so others can do the same. Okay, what we have tried to do in FIDE and in ECU is a web page. It's based on the European Chess Union's web page, and it's projects.europechess.org. And here we have gathered successful projects. We are given advices on how to create and run projects, and not the least advice how to make a fundraising events. So I hope you take a look at this one, because you will find some great stuff that hopefully can help you when you try to make your project. Finally, some suggestions I want to give to FIDE and to ECU now when they have re-elected new commissions and new boards is as follows. First of all, make a clear distinction between chess as a sport and chess for the society, because those two different areas will attract different sources of money, and by clarifying that, we have a better chance to receive them. I want to see a money-making team that can be analyzing and finding the money and create the projects, and not the least to make the applications so we can start to make projects all over the world. I also want to have a team that can prepare the organizations for receiving money, to develop good strategy for communication and marketing. This is also an area where we are behind, communication and marketing, because we do so much good stuff and the world does not know it. Finally, connected to this money-making team, we need a project team that can be a follow-up to the money-making team, coaching international and national projects, and not the least the organizations and the federations. That was that. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
I think that was a very clear explanation about how to develop a very good project. Thank you very much, Jasper. Now, I hope we have convinced you about how useful chess can be as an educational tool. But now, what is the next move? How to go forward? In order to talk about that, I have with me three very important people. Well, two of them are already here. The third one is coming in a few minutes. You know very well the first one, Judit Polgar again. Thank you very much for joining us again. I know that you are running through the Global Chess Festival from one event to another one, so thank you for the effort of coming here on time again.
Thank you.
And we also have another very important person. Dana Reignietze Ossola is the managing director of the International Chess Federation, FIDE, and also the deputy president of the European Chess Union. Dana, please welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. Please have a seat. I will introduce the third person, who is also a very important one, as soon as he gets here. Now, and I don't know if you agree with me, but I think that chess is in fashion all over the world, at least in many countries. You are traveling as much or even more than me, in your case, Dana. So I suppose we agree on that. So that means that we in chess we are living in a great moment with capital letters. And then we should know how to take advantage of that great moment. What ideas do you have about that? Judith, you as leader of a very important chess foundation, and you, Dana, as one of the highest officials at the International Chess Federation.
Well, I think chess is very rich. It has a 1,500-year-old history. And of course, it's known as a great board game. It's a complicated, it's a very strategic. And everybody's playing it, kids, adults, professors, everybody. But I think it's very important to understand also that chess can give much more to the society, generally speaking. I'm very much into education and as with my program. And because chess is so rich and we see so many different projects and in education, in other parts, I think it's very important to clear things up and say it and to give this information to the people, to the chess community, that what kind of other parts, not only the chess as a sport, but chess in education. Chess in education, there are different segments, very different way of using in education. Or you have streaming, you have many different parts of chess. It's reaching from day to day. And I think it's very important for the chess community to understand how many different segments and how many different ways you can earn money or you can love the game and you're observing. And it's also very important for teachers, for institutes, for ministries, for everybody to understand what chess can really offer, for example, in education. And I think this is why we are here also with this summit, to try to explain it and make it more clear to everybody that what kind of options and alternatives there are.
Before giving the word to Dana, please, I have to welcome the President of the European Chess Union, Surab Asmaiparashvili. Thank you very much for coming. Surab, please sit down. We are talking, Surab, about how chess is in fashion because mainly two reasons. I mean the pandemic itself and Queen's Gambit series as well. But, well, how should we take advantage of that? And then Dana was going to say something about her ideas.
Yes, Leoncio, you're right. Traveling all over the world, I do really see that this is a momentum for chess. It has become fashionable because of Queen's Gambit, because of COVID, when everybody was closed in their homes, and then they recognized how beautiful the chess game is because you can play it from sitting on your couch, having the opponents from all over the world. There are some momentums that also the negative side or the scandals attract more attention to chess, but it's important then how we use this momentum of attention, because it's the same as like with the people. With good appearances, it takes 2 seconds to get the attention, but then when I talk with you, I want to understand whether there's something more you can offer to me. And the same goes for the chess world. And I believe that if we would be concentrating only on the sport of chess, then we will lose this momentum pretty fast, because we already do have this image that chess is not for me, it's for those smarties, it's something very complicated, it's a few number of people who go in for it, earn some money, but okay, I looked at you and then I turned away. If we manage to show how chess can be useful for non-chess players, then we would be completing our mission. And here is where the educational chess comes in, like Judith's program, an amazing program where you use the complexity of the game and various elements of it, not for the sake of teaching the chess, but for the sake of teaching mathematics, language, sports, all kinds of elements, giving the future skills for the kids. So educational element. The second one, if we can use chess to empower those who are more vulnerable in the societies. For example, inmates, people who have made mistakes in their life. For example, people with disabilities, providing them the opportunity to go in for chess. Chess for refugees, chess for many other areas where, using this beautiful game, we empower them, we motivate the people, we show the way in their life. And if we manage to do that, and that's something that FIDE, the International Chess Federation, also ECU, is now trying to do, then we would be satisfied that yes, we've taken chance of the momentum. Only with sports it will not work.
Surab, what is your take on that point?
Okay. First of all, let me thank the organizer and especially our host Judith for this beautiful day, which already many years. It's a tradition that's having a meeting in Budapest. It's a meeting of the chess world, let's say, like this meeting point of the chess world. Second, what actually Dana say, I fully agree with this concept. Well, you know that ECU, what to say, like fortunately it's a leader of the continental leader in FIDE, our society, or unfortunately, because sometimes, you know, the cases like this, that when you develop something very high level, and we know very well that almost all countries in Europe, chess is developed very well, it's quite difficult to change mentality, because people consider chess as a professional game, and they don't want to change this, how to say, this approach. You know, having again example of Judith, we know very well that when she quit chess, she was #1 in the world, and very young, still very young, and she can continue playing and playing. But she see her role for the future of the, not chess itself as a professional chess, but as an educational tool. And that's amazing, because that's, I believe that only few people in the world can do this step, quitting actually the main occupation, main profession, and transferring yourself to the completely other direction. But she believes this direction, we believe also this direction, that this is right approach, and that's why again I say, you know, for example, Dana said that it's not only educational tool, but chess have another to socialize people. So that's why that in ECU we have very successful educational commission. You just one of the best person who is long time have such an approach and is trying to convince the world. It's Jesper Hall, and already he's 8 years chairman of our commission. But with the proposal of Dana, we create a new commission also now in ECU. It's a social commission, and because we believe that this will help also this direction of the social as a chess, and at the same time the educational tool will help more develop the new approach, new brains, that what actually we are doing. When we are doing this ourselves as a chess players and people who are very close to chess, people can say, okay, they are promoting their game. But this is really not like this. We know this very well, but we have to convince the other to believe what we believe also. On this direction, that's why I say that sometimes it's good to have a big tradition, but sometimes when you're building something new, it's better to have a free mind, absolutely free mind. Easier to build your strategy, what you want, because it's like a technology, for example. You know, in very well developed countries, technology in the last years, technology developed not so well, because they have to replace the old one. It's not easy, it's financial matter also, but the countries which don't have the technology at all, they develop the new technology. There are many examples in the world. You know, we were just a little bit making some jokes. I want to say this. Dana's husband, it was very well known joke about that the free cheese doesn't exist only in a mousetrap. So this mentality now, it's a transferring new approach there. Exists the free chess, but for the second mouse. So it's very interesting to say, because it's like this, that we ECU, I believe that we have to try, because Dana is not only representing FIDE, but she is a deputy of European Chess Union, deputy president. We will try to make to do our best, not to be the first mouse, of course. This is very important for us. And I believe that with your help, and especially with great help of Judith, because names are very important. We cannot do like this, we cannot avoid this, and we should not avoid this. This is our brand mark, and they are for popularization of chess, and especially in this direction. This is very important. We have such people like Judith.
Taking one of your points, President Dasmai-Parashvili, chess is a very endogamic world. I'm afraid it has been like that for centuries already. I mean, most of the chess people are always looking inside the chess world.
Yes.
Their games, their clubs, their openings, their tournaments, their ratings. But very few chess people are looking outside to the society. How can we attract new people to chess? Then, do you have some clear ideas about that, about communication? For instance, in your foundation, or in FIDE, or in the ECU, how do you deal with communication? What are your projects to work on that?
Well, in the Judit Polgar Chess Foundation, we believe in quality, and whatever we do, we are putting it as a news on our website and social media. But of course, me, myself, I'm traveling all over the world. I give lectures, I meet influential people, but also people, principals of schools or kindergartens, and I do believe in small steps. And we started with my foundation in 10 years ago exactly, and I think we made huge steps because we do have to appreciate small steps ahead, especially in this direction where there are big challenges to switch the minds and the mindset a little bit. But I think we also have to be patient, but we have to be very clear message. And this is what us in Hungary, for example, what we're doing, that we are really giving the very clear message that chess can be implemented as a transversal subject. It can be used. This is the course what we give. And it goes from mouse to mouse, that it's good, it works. And we are continuing the very clear messaging and clearing even more and more. And this is why I'm very happy that we did, for example, what we have behind the poster of the Educational Summit, because I believe that we have to create channels for it, and we have to also work together. This is also something I think the chess world generally has to learn from other institutes, that making partnerships, it just doubles or exponentially grows the possibilities. So those people who really believe in the same thing, my image is that to clear it, to talk until the moment that we really we are on the same page and communicate it together, because it means that it's an attack from different sides. Going to chess, of course, if you have a queen and attacking the king, it's okay, but you're not going to win it, right? But if you have a bishop and a rook and a knight, your attack breaks through. So this is what I believe, that generally I think we have to make partnerships who are on the same page, and then it's going to be eventually.
If we talk about, if we consider the educational chess, there's a big challenge that teaches us to understand that one size doesn't fit all. It is the specifics of the educational policies. Educational policy is a national policy. Each and every country decides their own way, what they are going to do. So there is no efficient way of the top-down communication. This has to be done. This is one of the roles that FIDE has to play. Whenever we meet with the top-level politicians, we have to promote the idea of not only using chess for sports, but also using that for the education. But then again, I mean, especially in the western part of the world, I believe that the smartest way is actually to choose other messengers. Not that the institution is coming and telling, but people who are there, able to inspire and able to tell the stories, very practical stories, so that, at the level of the school principal, they are convinced. Because quite often it's them who make the decisions of whether or not they will use chess or in their educational system. Not the minister, not the top-level guy or lady. So that's one thing. That's why I appreciate that we start making the partnerships with such formats like this, like the Global Chess Festival, because I believe that sometimes it's smarter to choose another messenger who is much more efficient than an official from international chess organization. That's one thing. Stories, we have to create the stories. I think that's the thing that speaks the best. Yes, if we can show the results of a girl who had learned chess while being in a refugee camp, she has gone to the tournament, she has won, she has seen the perspective in their life. That is something that creates sentiment and that will make people and decision makers also to think, yes, this is worth to invest. If there are successful business people who said, yes, I mean, I've been so successful in my life, not because of 10 universities that I've gone through and got the diplomas, but a lot of things that I've used in my practice I've taken from chess. So again, I mean, additional motivation is there. So this is something that I see might work the best. We're still struggling to find the best role of FIDE there, yes, because we are an institution. We are created of the human beings, but we have never really actively worked in the direction of, creating these ambassadors. What we are doing now, we're trying to create the stories, and the next step is to tell them.
Surab?
So, we are magicians, we agree, yes? Okay, so we have to produce something, some ideas which can be interesting for people, for mass audience, of course, this is important. One of the way actually how to, okay, there is always one way that you are approaching the politician, and it's nice that in Georgia, for example, we have such a good minister who understands why chess is important. That's why his decision was just to make mandatory in the beginning of the first class, for example, chess. But the other thing is how Dana said that it's quite difficult, this method, to, especially in the Western country, it doesn't work. So, one of the key points how to advertise, for example, politicians plus municipalities, that chess is generally very nice tool. Also, not to promote your own kids, but to promote your city. For example, we implant the new event now with help of FIDE, with FIDE Developing Foundation. Thanks, Dana, once again. We create a new tournament, which we called it online hybrid championship between European cities and towns, where it's 4 categories. It's female, men, seniors, and kids. And the idea was like this, that which sport or which other organization or institution can approach 4 categories. 1 or 2 day tournaments will be like this, and all municipalities will have a, first of all, we said that they have to be organized in the territory of the municipality, the hybrid chess. So, and everybody will have to introduce, will have a chance to introduce the small city which nobody knows, and why this city is good, why people have to come there. This is one of the directions. So always you have to think, you should move. If you don't move, then okay, your organization can be stable, but nothing special. But we are moving on this direction, always creating the new ideas, how to make popular chess more. And then involve people who are not chess players, because they have to be our ambassadors, not we. We are ambassadors already, we are professionals. So they have to be our ambassador. By the way, I remember one very interesting case now. I was in Prague during the ladies championship, Dan also came for a few days, and I met several businessmen there who start to play chess in age 40. They don't know before how to play chess. And then I asked them, I have an answer, but what I want to do, we have to introduce these people and ask them to say why they choose chess. Because they play tennis, this is normal, you know very well that every rich guy, this is normal to play tennis, but suddenly they choose, and there is a society who is playing chess in Czech Republic. It's very good to make a some kind of like you are doing now, and ask them why they choose chess. They have a reason. They believe that it will help in the business also.
Yes.
Yes.
We have talked about it just a couple of hours ago.
Yeah.
So I wish you all success to the three of you on that very essential task of convincing, as you mentioned, relevant politicians or potential sponsors and so on. And before sharing the final idea with our viewers, I want to do two things. First of all, Judith, I think I'm talking on behalf of millions of chess lovers if I say thank you very much for all you are doing for chess, and especially for chess in education. This Global Chess Festival is fantastic, and this educational chess summit, I think, is going to become a reference for millions of persons all over the world. And the second thing is a lot of thanks to our technical team, really fantastic job. Thank you very much. And the idea I want to share with you is the following. I don't know if you agree, but I think that now in the world, every day, we have more and more people thinking less and less for a series of reasons. The bad use of social networks, the very bad quality of many TV programs, even for children, the inequality in many countries, the fast life we have in the most developed ones. So this is the perfect moment to develop and promote a game that teaches you how to think. Thank you very much for being there, and all the best from Budapest. Bye.
Good.